Fia.
Buonasera a tutti. Good evening and welcome to Fate's Grip, a show where we play a game and I dropped my pen. So hopefully everyone is okay and well and welcome. And Rook, I don't see you. Okay, there you are. So we are here and we have, as you can probably see by now, Thorum is not Thorum anymore. No, he is Dench. And so Thorum unfortunately won't be joining us this evening. Shout out number one. And if he's not watching, then, we can have a chat. No, I'm kidding. It's fine.
He's in the chat. It's fine.
Hey, welcome. Hey, hope you feel better, buddy. So shout outs. Can I mention the Twitter? Is that okay?
Why are you looking at
Twitter?
us? It's your Twitter.
It's Twitter. We reached over 800. That is freaking awesome. Thank you so much, everybody, for following us. And we really, really hope you enjoy watching us either live or afterward. And we kind of done it. We couldn't really have been at this point without you all. So thank you. And we've got 800 means special events, things happening. So let's give it up for 800. Thank you very much, Twitter. Appreciate it. Who else has a shout out they would like to do?
Oh, pick me.
Go for it.
Thank you. Just coming off the back of that really quickly, a couple of people I want to shout out specifically for the 800 followers is our DM, Michele, who made that tweet. And I was like laying in bed and I was talking to Ben and I was like, damn, like we're getting a lot of followers. What's going on? And then I saw the tweet and I was like, that guy is a social media influencer. Anyway, other people I want to mention are Dice and Desire. They retweeted us and they were like, get them there. So it's super demanding and I vibed with it. And then there was Jerda DM who was like, it'd be super cool if you gave them a follow. And then there was Dapper D&D, Old Buddy Creates, Kobold Wizard, DM Laylaps, and then Emma Jeans. So a bunch of really cool people who retweeted us, a bunch of people that liked us, followed us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Like our wonderful DM has said, it means that we get to do fun things for the people that watch. So we've had like no breaks in between giveaways, and that's thanks to the fact that we keep hitting milestones. So for 800 followers, you giveaway!
Giveaway!
Yay!
Heck yeah!
Be more excited, everyone. Jeez. Tough crowd. So I want to shout out Kraken Dice, who are sponsoring this week's giveaway. Kraken Dice are a dice company based in the US who are just really super passionate about people that love dice and people that play D&D and other tabletop roleplay games. So we're giving away this set, which is called Rainbow in the Dark. And it is a clear set with like a black vapor through it. But it also has like rainbow glitter all through it as well. So probably can't see it too well. I'm going to post a photo up on the Twitter. You get 4 D20s, 4 D6s, and one of their fun little D2s as well. They're super pretty. I was going to buy these for myself, and so seeing them sitting in front of me is really depressing. But if you would like to win them, a couple of different things. Follow our account, retweet the tweet that I post, and like the tweet as well. All three of those things make you eligible for the giveaway. End date to be determined. Keep an eye on the Twitter. Otherwise, thank you for getting us there.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Sweet. Excellent.
And we also have to shout out Meeples and Dragons. Been with us since the start. Super excited to have them. They're just so great. They're sending out our winner a glass at the moment, Declan, who selected the Sorcerer glass.
Yeah, saw that. Love that.
So super cool.
Yeah.
It's an awesome glass. Hopefully you love it as much as we do. Otherwise, they also have their t-shirts on sale at the moment.
Yeah, sweet.
So
that's still going?
Yes.
Yeah, nice.
You can see us wearing them and much more attractive people wearing them as well on the website.
Like this guy.
Guys, come on.
I don't know if he's on the website.
You know.
He should be.
He should
You can put my face up there if you want Maples and Dragon.
Yeah, perfect. All right, thank you. So giveaway coming up. Now, what else we got, guys?
You should tell everyone about the YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube channel. Check us out there, FATES Grip. Episode 39 it is today. Should be up there hopefully tomorrow, our time,
Get in
early
there.
afternoon. If anyone who is watching at the start and is overseas, you can catch the rest of it tomorrow. And yeah, that's about it.
Nice. And that's all we got?
I think so.
Shout out wise, yeah?
Shout out to Round Terry. For his name.
Bloody Round Terry.
Why is he bloody?
He cut himself.
Okay.
He's giving something away.
Yeah, he was fishing. So, if that's without further ado, see you later. No, without further ado, let us head into episode 39. Fishes for Wishes. No, now recapping for everybody who is at home. At the moment, I'll still call it Thorum's 5. So we'll stay with that for now. So Thorum's 5. You are in Shan, and you have encountered the Boromar clan after hearing of their keeping a dwarf with the Red Death, a disease created by the drow that is devastating the Mror holds. You met with the head of this part of the Boromar clan, Round Terry, and was asked to retrieve a skeleton key, an ancient and no longer functioning key from the evening auction house in the Aurora Gallery, only a few blocks away. When you agreed, you met with Fariso, who bidded and won the key, an ever-changing antique and a curious piece with other relics and curiosities being fought and won by others. You discovered Fariso brought a guest, and King Boronel, sickly and also afflicted, greeted you. He implored you to return and see if the disease could be cured to help him recover in a difficult time. You discussed the concern with handing the skeleton key back to the Boromar clan, but decided to go back, Fariso turning into Bavolo, Barclay's friend, and together started your return and the recontact with the halflings, the promise of the city elite guard ready to aid if need be, and the concerns of Fariso's intentions on Amara's mind. So, you have just come out of the front door of the Aurora Gallery. The clattering of footsteps on tiles, Bavolo himself now disappearing, going after that elderly elvish woman. Fariso is towards the back. You see behind you as well, moving out and looking around to see who else is in the area, this plaza. The same black slicked hair halfling who was trying to talk to the auctioneer towards the end of that evening's events. Fariso, now Bavolo, in Fariso's voice, turns to you all and says, "If I may, you all go on ahead, but slowly. By the time we get back to the butcher shop, I feel we would have called and they would have arrived. Some help, if need be." Fariso looks at you now, Dench, and says, "I don't believe we've met. I'm Fariso. I've been aiding and they have been aiding me. These compatriots, acquaintances of yours, how did you come by them?"
They aided me as well. I was trapped in some dream space, and these people here, they guided me out. I owe them a debt.
Do you mean you were in Dalcor? The space that they were trapped as well?
I had no idea that's what it was called, but yes.
How did you even get there?
I was exploring in the Underdark, in the Eldine Reaches, and the Drow City I came across that I mentioned to the king. I found an object there, and the bloody thing took me to the dream space.
With the visage of not Fariso, he continues. He says, with a furrow in the brow, I would very much be interested to see such a device. Would you be willing to show me?
I'll turn to Amara. You trust him to see this?
Yes. Farizo is one of the first people that we met when we all came together. If he wanted us dead, he probably could have done so by now.
I'm not worried about dying. Just this falling into the wrong hands. I'll pull out the device and hand it over to him, but
Right.
super delicately holding it by the edges.
The thick golden disc, probably about a large hand, fitting comfortably in your hand, Dench, being probably the largest hand in the area, but only just. Your fingers only curl around the outside. The golden underside of this round item is heavy, and it has little notches in it, like a well-used weapon. It seems to have found its way throughout a long period of time after being created, perhaps hand to hand, perhaps sometimes lost, and in one piece still though. No chips or just small scratches in what seems to be pure gold. And then above it, triangular, they almost seem like buttons. Triangular buttons that surround the upward piece. It like two pieces of bread glued on one another. These slightly glowing purple, orange, blue, yellow. They sort of glitter as you carefully hand this to him, and it doesn't give out any sound, but it does feel like a vibrating, like you're on a lightning rail, and you felt that just surrounding you, your entire body shifting and jittering. And as Fariso takes it in his hand, he sort of closes his eyes and holds his other over the top, only barely touching the top of it. You say you found this where the drow keep their homes.
Where they were experimenting on the dwarves with the Red Death. I found it scavenging, but they found me not long afterwards, and I had to escape. I pressed one of the jewels and ended up in the dreamscape.
That is its power. Whomever seems to hold this thing, or even touch it, will not need any spell to transport you to a different plane of existence. There are a number of different places that you can go with this thing, but with a button pressed. Dangerous. in the wrong hands. Very dangerous. There are some places here that I have understood that simply going there may cause death in an instant. If you are to be found there.
Like where?
This one, and he points to a deep, like grey button that seems to, in the button itself, swirl with cloudiness. This one seems to take you to a particular layer of hell, the 6th, it seems.
I wonder, Friezo, if you can teleport there, would it be possible to teleport a space here?
This one, and he points to a fairly light yellow, very, very light yellow. This one will take you back to the material plane of existence, yes, to Khorvaires. If you press this here, you do not move.
Have you seen one of these contraptions before?
Not to such power. I've seen perhaps one item transporting you to one place, but not so many. This one, and he points to a deep, deep green. This one will transport you to the Feywild.
Who made this?
Well, as far as I'm aware, powerful drow. That is all I'm to understand.
Dench, do you remember which one you pressed to get you to Delcor?
I was running. I had no idea what it did.
It's this
Not a
one.
big fan of magical items.
He sort of... he takes your hand, Dench, gently, and moves your finger over to a particularly dark blue.
I'm raising that hand away. I want nothing to do with that.
He sort of puts his hand back and says, I mean no harm. I simply wanted to just show you the portal that you pressed.
I've got eyes, mate.
He sort of nods and acknowledges. He then describes the other buttons. One taking you to the elemental plane of fire, the other to an elemental plane of air, and then water, also in this ring of options. Another, this white button. He says, this one is perhaps the rarest. To even go to this place is death, but death by joy. It will take you to Celestia, the home of the angels. Its power seems endless, but there must be some end to its magical properties. But
How do you know all this if one would return to a place and die?
I've been told. I've been told by those I have brought back. There's a spell that, for mere minutes, one that has recently departed can return and tell of its last moments. This was an unfortunate happenance, but I became fortunate to find someone who experienced this at the last moment. Now, what I would suggest is you put this away quickly, and perhaps somewhere that you will not accidentally press something that you do not want unless you are ready and willing to go.
I was sort of live hoping,
Mm-hmm.
so I can put it in here if you want.
You seem like you might have the most use out of this if you need to get back to the dream space.
It would be really helpful to be able to instantly transport back there.
I want nothing to do with this, and you seem like the most trustworthy amongst this bunch, so
Thanks, Dench.
just don't let anything bad happen to people because of this.
Bracelet's good.
He hands it to you with a nod to you, Dench, and says, "Wise choice."
Gunner, I might keep it on my person if that's okay. I don't want you to get hurt.
It's in the bag of holding is in a totally different plane.
I feel similar to the first prophecy that we had. I'd feel more comfortable keeping it on me. Is that okay?
It's in your hands.
Literally.
Now, we must proceed, but let's do so slowly so we have time for the Red Cloaks to make their way to the butcher shop. If I may, go on ahead. Thurum should go with you as well, but I may need some minutes to speak with Barclays, if possible. We will go behind.
What?
You go on ahead. I just need to speak to Barclays alone, and we will catch up.
Okay.
Oh, you're saying he will go behind?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Just if you're gonna knock, if someone's gonna knock Barclays out again, maybe don't leave him in the openness and bushes.
Noted.
Might be smart.
Gives a bit of a smirk. Very well.
Smart.
So what are you all doing?
Just gonna walk.
Can I ask, who is that lady, that old lady, before we go?
Which one?
She was the one who bought that spell throw.
I didn't recognize her. I'm not sure.
Start walking after
Okay.
Mara towards the butcher shop.
Barclays, will we be alright?
I don't know. We'll have to find out.
Together.
Well, then we'll be waiting ahead then. And I'll look to Amara.
As you all start to walk on ahead, you watch.
Who's that?
You all watch behind as probably about 15 meters away, so still in view, but a fair way back. Fariso and Barclay start to speak in low tones. Barclays. A message from House Galanda has reached my ears, and he takes out what looks to be a small rolled note and hands it to you. I hope you don't mind. I was told by House Galanda to read it and then to give it to you after.
Okay, so you're handing me the
He
note?
hands the note to you.
So the first thing I look at is like, does it have the Galanda seal?
The official seal, yes.
Okay. Alright. So I'm reading it.
The note is fairly short and to the point. It reads, Barclays, the Viper and emissary for House Galanda. You are requested back to Thronehold. Your presence is needed immediately. You have been brought to the house under circumstances which we believe to be false. You are destined for something else. You're destined for more than what House Galanda can offer in all of its might and all of its power. At your earliest convenience, come back and speak to the representative of House Lyranda, who will be waiting for you. There will be one to accompany you back there. Someone will help you transport. A servant of House Lyranda will help you back. This note should release them, and they will be with you shortly. House Lyranda is honored and has been honored to have your service, your companionship, and your friendship up until this point. You have exceeded all of our wishes. Your project for the grandest inn in Khorvaires is coming to fruition. With your help, we have succeeded in making our name and stamping it within Khorvaires, in every city, in every village, in every tavern. You must depart your current situation. House Lyranda believes you are more powerful than you think, and you belong there. And with that, the last signature. As you see the signature of a name you don't recognize, in front of you and off to the left slightly appears this familiar sight. A large being, wispy, floating just above your eye level. In an instant, a djinn with this long black hair, straight and beautiful. Her long, thin arms ending with very fashionable looking rings on her fingers, gold and emeralds all abound. This long, white, thin sort of tunic that ends in a long sleeve on either arm. These red lips and dark brown eyes look at you, and as she shimmers into existence, you can see through her, but she's certainly there. And you're reminded of another djinn, another genie-like creature which you helped set free.
Right. So she just appears, just like that, or she kind of steps forward from somewhere?
She steps forward from just the corner of your eye.
Right, okay.
As though she appeared behind around a corner, but you didn't notice that there was a corner.
Okay. I've not seen this djinn before?
No.
So, okay, this is a lot to take in right now. I'm a little confused. So, I'm meant to be going with you.
Friso looks at you and then is unsurprising as he looks towards the djinn, and he sort of gives a slow nod. It is said that you must accompany her. She is an ally of House Lyranda.
Okay, let's see. Well, if that is my fate, make sure I'm going to hold you to account. Make sure that Thorns 5, make sure they live. We all know that we're going to be going through some very, very challenging times.
Friso looks at the djinn and looks at you and says, a sudden and unexpected journey, Barclays. Your friends need to know. Now, what they may or may not want to hear and this is up to you. When I read this message, I immediately went to Thronehold. House Lyranda, they have more djinn waiting there. They're going to take you somewhere else. They're going to take you to the citadel of ice and steel in the elemental plane of air. Barclays, that is where you belong.
It's funny, part of this, although sounds super strange to Barclays, it feels like things that he couldn't piece together are now starting to piece together a little bit more.
When you fell and you were taken in, for that is the legend of Barclays the Viper, an unknown heritage, unknown parents, but brought up in the House Galandian way, to be proud, to travel, to be schooled. Do not feel like any of this was unfounded. You have turned into such a powerful and kind person. And at this point, this djinn moves closer and she almost speaks over the top. As she looks down at you with these very wide eyes, her face breaks into a grin and then a smile and says, "You were born to fly, brother."
Brother. Okay, I'm curious, I must say. So this is it. This is where I say goodbye to my friends. Like, they're not just colleagues and traveling companions. That's who they are.
Your family. They have been your family. But you have a family as well, Barclays, that misses you. We have been waiting. House Galanda has been very kind in uncovering who you really are for us. For we have searched all your life, and you are there all the time, right in front of all of our eyes.
It seems like I could be away for some time. Is that correct? If I come with you?
Did you not feel a rush when you held the sword?
Yeah, that's why I still have it.
That sword was a gift, Barclays. It's yours. It was always yours.
And then I look down at that kind of where that sword is and just like kind of see the hilt and like appreciate it a little bit more differently.
I understand that this will be perhaps a hard return, a difficult one. Perhaps you will see this family of yours again. Perhaps not.
Well, I really do hope that fate will bring us together again.
I'm sure it will.
I think it's important, if I don't get my chance to farewell them, that They remember how much they mean to me. I'd like to leave you with some things for Rizzo to give.
So Friso sort of shakes his head and he says, I feel it's fair that we give you some time to say goodbye. I wish it.
Okay.
And the Jinn says, when you come back to us, we will unlock your mind's secrets. And you will know much more than here, than what Haskalander has offered. And it is good. And you will do good by it. And from where we sit, you will be able to watch your friends and make sure they are safe. And we will aid them. But you have a journey ahead of you, Barclays, and you may not return for some time. You must train. You must be one of us again.
Very well. Very well.
Friso looks at you and holds out his arm. His form goes back to Friso, not Bavolo, and he gives you a very stern look as he says, if we don't meet again, just know that I am sorry.
Sorry.
Just for the circumstances that have you needing to leave them.
Okay. Well, thank you. I really do appreciate your sentiment here.
Go to them.
I just turn. Yeah.
You are all walking a bit ahead.
Look, let me show you this game. Ready? You go 1, 2, 3, and then you choose whether you're going to do a paper, which is like a flat hand, or scissors, which is like this, or rock, which is, I guess we could call it rook if you want, but it's like this. And then we count, and different things beat different things. So we'll just do it, and I'll tell you if you win or if you lose.
Okay.
Ready? 1, 2, no. We do it at the same time.
Oh, okay.
1, 2, 3.
And I...
So you win
Oh, okay.
because the rock smashes the scissors.
Where did you learn this from?
It was a game that I used to play as a kid with a bunch of the people in the monastery. It was pretty much the only thing that we did that was fun.
As you
And hide
hear
and seek, maybe.
the hurried footsteps
What if I
of
go
someone
for
behind you.
Here it comes down.
You lost me 10 gold, you idiot.
What?
Have you played this game?
Teach me.
Did
You bet on something you didn't understand?
You just hear? Didn't you just hear?
We'll talk later.
Gunnar, did you hear how to play?
I've played this game before.
Oh, let's go. Ready?
I bet on the boy.
Ready?
10 gold. You win.
You
For your
can't
10
use your
gold
mage
back.
hand. No mage hand.
Wait, I didn't get any money out of
I
that
don't
last
I
time.
don't know what you're talking about.
You can't use your telepathic hand. Ready?
I'm not using my telepathic hand.
Gunnar.
Hang on a second.
Gunnar.
Yes?
We have to play it now. Ready? 1, 2, 3. So now we go again. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't make a bet.
Thorum turns at this point. Why are you in a hurry? Turning to, and as you all look around, you see Barclays striding up. And then as you look at him, behind him, Fariso has taken his form again, but there's a shimmering blue creature hovering next to him, a fair ways back.
So Barclays, what was that about?
Over the chin.
I have a friend now. Actually, did the Jinn give name? And this friend is here to take me somewhere. And it's not where we're going.
Where are you going?
It seems that House Galander, at this particular point in time, no longer requires my service.
I wasn't.
We still need your help.
Yes. And I would need your help too.
Who am I going to pull arrows out of chest?
Not sure, but I look at Rook and new guy. Like there's Dench, yes. There's plenty of healthy shielding here, I think, to help with arrows. Indeed, I've been called to another house, and that's House Lyranda. And it feels really strange, but there's something going on that seems to be calling me. Seems to make sense. It ties a lot to who I am, which I've always made a point of knowing what my purpose is. But there is a great deal about who I am that I don't really know. And although this is not timely, however, it seems that it could really matter. And at some point, could aid us as well. I have assurances.
Barclays, you're speaking
Your
like
friends will look after you as well. And you've made many.
You're leaving for good?
I don't know. I've been told I may not be back soon.
You've been gone for short times before, but the way you talk...
This could be some time.
Like forever?
I hope not. I have a feeling we'll cross paths, most definitely. And it will be my purpose to make sure that happens wherever it can. But if there's something that I can do, if there's something I can gain that would help us achieve our goals, that's what I will be looking for.
DM question. Did any of us take House Lyranda's mark? No.
Yeah.
To give you more, it might help that you know that I already have a mark that I wasn't aware of.
What is it?
It's the mark of House Lyranda. Or at least I think it might be. This has not been made clear to me yet, but I've had issue with the mark that I took.
House Lyranda. House Lyranda...
You remember that time when we travelled
The
in the
airships.
air? In the air.
Hmm.
Such a good time.
Was
Yes,
it?
it was.
It was really scary.
With the air elementals.
It was a bit sad.
I mean, I was given the opportunity to fly that airship.
Maybe there was a reason why you had a knack at it.
Maybe there
I
was.
watched you steer that ship.
Maybe there was. Maybe there was. And I think that might explain something.
If you feel like your journey is elsewhere and this will answer questions for you, then I can't say that your charisma won't be missed.
Just on a side note, you mean statistically?
Both. Analytically.
My friend, we've all seen you play an instrument.
Yeah, I'm pretty persuasive myself.
And we've seen you in other characters as well. That's a fancy hat.
Thanks, I stole it.
It's a good steal. And you, yes, you.
I've known you for like 18 hours, so this dumping of an emotional purse on the table is a bit weird for me. You seem like a good bloke, so
It's okay.
I'll go over and I'll give Barclays a hug.
I'm gonna miss you, mate.
You just keep it together.
There's just a little bit of a tear going up there when no one can see him.
Good bloke.
I like pat him on the back and like. I don't want to hold you up. If I was with you right now, we would be moving to the next most important thing. But I don't want you to forget me, because I will not forget you. So I have something for you all. Do you have a moment for me to give you all something?
Yes.
Gunnar,
Got plenty of moments. Yes.
can I give you this ring?
What is it?
It's my ring of true sight. Don't sell it.
No.
Don't break it down for its components.
Oh, I'm not gonna do that.
Actually, this is a loan.
Okay.
You take good care of it.
Alright, I'll try not to die.
Good. Is that okay?
Well, I could lose it if I die.
Do what you want.
He's just like, oh,
God is just like, yeah, it's
What
alright.
does it do? How does it work?
every time I've used it,
Yes.
it allows me to see things that we cannot see with our own eyes.
Okay. Do I need to do anything with it to make it work?
I think you need to wear it.
That's it?
Yes, but you need to intend for it to use its purpose.
Okay.
So it won't allow you just to see what others can't see all the time.
Okay.
All the time.
It needs to be activated.
Yes, it's a good way to put it.
How do you activate it?
By willing it to be active.
Oh, okay.
I've touched it a few times and seen things I didn't want to see, but generally I think after using it after some time, willing it seems to work.
Okay. Thanks.
You're welcome. Then I look to Rook, my friend. You've become quite skilled with the art of making compost.
Well,
What?
are you talking about our cactus friend?
And
He's been
I
somewhat
bring out
neglected, I
my
must admit.
Special friend, Prickly Pete.
Prickly Pete.
I'm not sure how much I will be able to use Prickly Pete on my adventures. Perhaps you could get some use. He likes conversation, or at least I think he does. He hasn't told me that he doesn't. But he needs to be he needs to be kept healthy. And I trust that you can keep him healthy. Will you take Prickly Pete, my friend?
Wouldn't you need a friend on your journey?
I think I will be making some more, but it gives me a reason to get back to you.
I take Prickly Pete. But who will teach me how to power slide?
I think Pete might have observed me do it. I don't know if he can remember. But that's a good point. I shouldn't be away indefinitely. My goal should be to come back and maybe help you power slide some more. Thorum,
Yeah.
put out your hand.
Why?
Don't put out your hand.
He pulls out his hand. I don't really agree to this, you know.
I know, so I'm going to buy your agreement. And I drop 2 platinum in his hand.
This works. But I'll still miss you.
Yes, you will. And there's some interest on that too. I'm just kidding.
You have to?
Yeah, I do.
Fair. You take care of yourself, Barclays. And we'll be here. Thorum's 5 will look out for you. And
I mean,
make
technically it is still 5, right? We've got a good friend over here.
either way.
And Prickly Pete.
Oh yes, and Prickly Pete. If need
Oh
be.
no, it's Sorum 6 now.
Still, I wish you weren't going. I think I would have really liked to use your help in the Moror holds if we ever get to stop these drow.
I'm confident you will. Very decisive now.
Not just for that, not just for your power, but just for your company. You've always been able to help us in the tricky spots.
Thank you. Remember that. Then I look to Amara. You, my friend, I am so proud of you. Adventuring and watching us all do some cool things. Some amazing things. I know that you and Gunnar are quite young. You both, but especially you, have achieved some incredible things. You carry the weight of your people on your shoulders. That's no mean feat. And I feel this whole group is in safe hands because of that power. So I want you to have something that's really dear to me. This was the most significant thing that was ever given to me. This was the first thing that was given to me that really made me feel I was part of a family, and I want you to have it. And I give Amara my Blink Dog emblem, which is what it was given from. This is from House Galanda. You show this, they should offer you hospitality, treat you like an honoured guest, which you are.
I just got a high heart rate notification. Wow. Legitimately, I just did something to take it off.
Take good care of it.
Ignores me.
If anything is sentimental to me, it's that. And I feel it's in safe hands.
I hope you know that if it was up to me, I would not let you go. Because A, selfishly, I've already lost a lot of people and feel like I just consistently lose people. But B, I think you were the first person after Gunnar that actually I felt like understood me. So it's gonna be weird not having you around.
Well, there's many new things for you to try. Just remember that.
Not meat. Or beer.
Well, yes, well.
Or mead.
Be interesting to see who you are when we meet again.
Who knows?
Well, friends, where am I standing right now?
You've all stopped outside some homes and shops which have closed for the evening, in an alleyway about, which is quite not very wide at all, about a block away still from your destination, and you have all managed to form a bit of a circle with Thariso and this being still behind.
I lean into the gin.
The gin is with Thariso a fair way away.
Oh, still further
But
back
they,
there.
they are starting to come closer. They are on their way. And in about a minute or so, they do tend to... They're still not with you in the circle, but they're about a meter away. And as they simply stand in silence while you're handing out the gifts.
Okay. So I step back and say good day. And I pull out one of my swords and do a salute.
Make a performance check, Barclays.
Before you leave, too, I give you a firm handshake.
That would be 19.
19. Okay. How do you salute?
How do you want to kill us all with your knife?
So I pull out one blade and just like kind of shimmy it around in the most probably sophisticated form that I was taught in the College of Swords.
Can I try and catch it?
Well, I've stepped back, so
He has stepped back.
yeah.
Go on.
And then I pull out another as well, and to the point where it's just like shimmering so much that the speed I suspect is kind of making me fade a little bit. So you can't necessarily, like, you can see I'm still there.
I shoot an arrow.
Yeah. Oh, if
I
you shot an
disrupt it.
arrow, it would just go and disappear.
It would, in fact. The quickness of the hands and the blades being caught and thrown with the fastest pace greet you, and Barclays does indeed for a moment appear and disappear and then reappear again as he steps backwards 1 step, then 2.
There's something I want to do. If that's
Please,
okay.
please.
So just as I'm stepping back, I say, "You are in my hearts, friends," and dimension door, and I fall backwards just into the door and gone.
Hell yeah.
And with that,
I don't quit.
with that, a slow moving Barclays disappears, and then this creature next to Fariso, this majestic looking light blue djinn, nods to all of you and says, "Thank you. Thank you for releasing him to us. We will take care of our kin." And she also fades.
Did you say kin or king?
Kin, K-I-N.
What, no wish?
Oh, I wanted a wish.
Fariso,
Wish
I want
Barclays
Barclays'
is
back.
Comes back.
No, I remember making a promise to Osei.
Fariso looks towards you all, and as that happens, in fact, you all hear scurrying footsteps as the moment or two pass, and left in the inn but running towards you all is in fact Osei. And she races around a corner, and as she stops in front of you all, did you think you were going to go back here without me? Not at all. I will be here. And she sort of looks and takes a moment. Do we have everyone?
Yes.
Most.
Can I ask a quick question?
Sure.
That ring you gave me, is it? I can't find it.
You won't be able to.
Oh, okay.
That's all right.
Alright. Just making sure I wasn't crazy.
Should we applaud Chris as he leaves the frame?
Bye, everyone. It's been real, and thank you all for your support. Thank you.
Yeah!
Yeah, Barclays. Come on.
Okay, stay away from me.
I say, looks around and says, but aren't we missing one? Where's Barclays?
He's got some stuff he needs to do.
For now, he's not with us.
It's not like him.
No, but I'm sure with your background, when you need to leave, you'd know when to.
What?
I guess if he has needed, if he has other tasks, then we cannot blame him, but well, I hope we see him again, but until then, it will not be goodbye from me. It will simply be until next time.
Yourself and I both.
Her in this moonlight with partial cloud cover and some stars that are sneakily glinting through the gaps. She has this quite bright pale skin. Her eyes are ever focused and red, and with these almost one of the most dangerous looks you've seen from her. You see probably only once, we've only seen once before perhaps, but these small fangs on the top of her teeth and the bottom just start to emerge and grow. And she grins, and these teeth are all serrated and sharp to an edge, and she says, "Let us see if anything needs killing, for I am hungry."
I've often wondered this. You've never joined us in a meal. How have you been keeping yourself sustained?
just know that those I have taken in have been quite evil in their doings. There's not an innocent person that I have needed to invite for dinner.
Then let's
I
slate your hunger.
Don't like the way that was put.
Shall we? Yes, we should, Farisa says as his face and body become Bovolo again.
I'm gonna look at everyone and say, so remind me, should we kill them all?
I still feel strongly that if we can take the head of the snake, the rest will just diminish.
I don't think it's the head, though. Remember, Frizo said it's just the arm.
Round
There are many
Tony?
arms. Fat Terry.
Round Terry is his name.
Fat Terry. I'm gonna call him.
Both are accurate.
I can't shadow jump in there. I don't like that.
What do you mean?
There's really light in there.
We can still attempt to sneak
Maybe
in.
you need to fix that.
Can only make magical darkness. Nothing can... I
What?
can't even see through it.
What happens if you make magical darkness on a light source?
Well, there would be a certain area that would be quite dark that even I could not see in.
No, you surround the light.
Interesting. I've never done that before. Anyway, I'm pretty strong.
I can turn off lights.
You can turn off lights? Gunnar? Wait a second. Gunnar?
Yes.
How long have we known each other?
About 2 days. Oh, just kidding.
Dench, don't even bother.
Hey, Rook, how many magical children does it take to change a light bulb?
What's a light bulb?
Apparently one.
Well, this has been fun, Osei. Please save me.
Thorum at this point has just walked.
Okay.
He just wordlessly...
Good.
But what he has done is he's taken out his mace and is simply holding his mace to the side and purposefully, with Farisa now around, had walked around you all and is following him and now is side by side as they make their way. What's your... actually, everyone who wants to make perception checks, please.
Yeah, let's do it.
That one.
Nat 1?
Good first roll.
You're looking intently at Rook at the moment. Super intently.
21.
21.
I feel like I wanted to keep my cocked eye. What was it? Perception? 3.
Gunnar?
9.
Okay. Amara, looking... I'll roll for you, Thorum. 2 seconds. You do not want to see that. Okay. So...
It's pretty standard Thulruk.
Yeah, pretty standard Thorum. he has a one-track mind and he's moving towards his destination. But Amara, you look up because you notice quick movement. And on the rooftops of some of the 1- and 2-story buildings, there are figures. Figures in dark, red, almost burgundy cloaks that are jumping between homes. And you count them. They're probably about 8, then another 2, and then another 3. They're all one after the other, leaping from home to home, grabbing onto the sides of a building and easily climbing up, then jumping across, leaping in otherwise impossible gaps. Yes.
Why is Samara looking at this?
Yeah, you notice her looking, but then as you look up, you don't know what she's looking at.
What is it?
Before I answer him, I'm going to telepathically say to Parizo, who are they?
In your mind, he replies, Red Cloaks. They are our aid if we need it.
Good. Oh, they're here to help us. It's no big deal.
Maybe we should just go in then.
Who is?
And
they wear cloaks and they're a certain color.
I don't know who.
Some would say red.
Who?
There's lots of them up there. Don't worry, they're here to help us.
I'm going to continue to follow through.
Okay.
on it.
Yeah, I'm gonna also head in.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have much I can do today.
Gunnar, I'm probably at 3/4 of my strength also. Which I have to... Can't cast spells on people.
Hopefully Thorum can keep us safe.
Ugh. Maybe.
As you will continue walking through,
I will crawl if there's carcasses everywhere again.
you haven't quite made it, but you do, in probably the next few minutes, make your way around the corner into the alleyway where a familiar sight greets you. The same butcher shop of Derok, in bright light internally. What is interesting about the scene in front of you, though, is there is a dark red cloaked figure that with one hand seems to be holding up by the scruff of the back of a shirt a wriggling halfling who's just starting to get a little bit more grumbly and shouty. As you get closer, you only hear this small being say, "Oi, oi, hey! What you doing? Hey, hey, oh, get your hands off me! Hey, hey, oh!" And the silence of this red cloak greets as a reply, and you all now go up to this point. Fariso looks behind him, to you all, and says, "One moment," and he whispers something. And a bit of a conversation happens between the red cloak figure, this tall, powerfully built human, and Fariso. And Fariso looks around and says, "Well, we are expected, but only by what he calls his boss. This round terrier awaits us." And you hear the distant sound of a familiar groaning, and then a wail from inside, and this name that gets almost roared out by the same voice, "Thorum!"
When we went through the first time, the lighting in the environment, what was it?
It was sconces.
So
Fire, which lined the outside and also points in the ceiling.
Okay.
Is it darker? Is it lighter from last time that we were there?
Seems about the same.
Are we... Go, sorry, go.
So I just want to, I'm not going to say anything other than, as we start to walk in, I'm going to just start turning off all of the sconces. I'll leave the ones in the middle of the room so they're casting, I'm assuming, the ones in the ceiling, are they just like a giant sort of bowl?
No, there are points. There are points where these...
Downlights.
Like downlights, correct.
They're fire as well?
Yep.
The fire's going downwards?
As you sort of peek in, this large flame flickers, and it's flickering directly, and it's descending. It's not licking and going back into itself, no.
Okay. Basically, I'm trying to cast shadows, so
Sure.
whatever I can do to leave some lights, but like I'm creating like crazy amounts of shadow, and I don't want it to be very well lit at all.
And what are you using to do this?
Control flames, my cantrip,
Sure, okay.
so I can
Yep.
extinguish the lights.
Yep, okay.
And all it requires is me point
And the range?
60 feet.
Okay, cool. From here, you could probably extinguish as many as you'd like. You have a visual of where all these lights are.
I would do it 60 feet in front of us as we
Yep.
walk in, so
Yep.
I want it to like dramatically
Yeah.
like look like as we're walking in the lights like,
Boom.
slowly
Boom.
turn
Yep.
up.
Yep.
Are we being escorted in, or?
Not yet. You're still outside. And
Yeah.
Variso says, well, how do you want this to work?
I'm going to try my hardest to stealth again.
Okay.
I don't really want to be seen if I can help it. That would actually be really cool. We should do this more often, Gunnar.
We don't. Yeah, okay.
Dench, might I ask, have you been in this experience before? I don't know much about you, other than you've been dungeon delving.
I've been waiting for this fight the whole time. The rest of what's happened is nonsense to me.
Do you know Round Terry?
Yeah, from when I was here before.
No, but like, have you ever had dealings with him beforehand?
I'm not even from this city. I don't know any of these people.
Okay.
From the Eldeen regions.
Sorry, I was just asking.
Variso says,
I'm admonishing you for it.
at the moment, this lord of the Boromar clan seems to want to speak to all of you.
Round Terry. Let's go in. Are you guys ready?
He is expecting us, so...
Yeah,
If
if
no
we
one
can make an
shows up.
entrance. You can make an entrance, you know.
I'm still going to try and stealth, because he
That's fine.
still hasn't seen me before, has he?
No, correct.
Well, I can try and make it so that there's like the line, the walls will be dark or darker. It's only going to be in the middle that sunlight will be on, so it's going to be
Yeah.
casting weird shadows. And the pigs, I'm assuming the carcasses will be casting shadows as well.
Correct.
So you'll be able to
Well,
carcass cast. No, just carcass jump.
oh no.
So you, yes,
I'll try and stick to the walls
Cool.
then. Obviously, if it means that I have to be like,
yeah.
so I'm not touching anything, that would be great.
Do you have that thing where you can make the shadows like wrap around us so we're harder to see?
I can do that, but if I do it, I can't. Remember how I punched a couple of people and they like completely stunned, like they couldn't move? It was like I'd stunned them. Do you remember?
Which time?
Yeah, so I've done it a bunch of times, right? If I do that,
Oh, I don't mean cast darkness, not that.
no, I know the spell you're referring to. It uses up a lot of my key energy, and I need to save that. I don't have much of it left.
Okay, because they're gonna see us again anyway, so it's probably useless. Okay.
Well, if you've turned off the lights, that definitely helps.
All of the lights?
Not all of them.
So
20 hours later.
that's Thorum's 5's MO. I love it. So, as you all start to very slowly move through, you all watch as in front and on the sides, you all move through initially as a group, but you immediately see the lights start to just immediately vanish and darkness already starts to emerge. Behind you, you hear this muffled, "Ain't no funny business," as the halfling yells out after you, but you ignore him as the torches and the flames go boom, a line of them disappearing, another line, a step forward, and
Yes.
as you get in and further, make a stealth check, Rook. Make a stealth check, Amara, as you shadow step. Do you want to attempt? You are just beelining it. What are you doing in stealth, please? Oh, just beelining it.
Yeah,
Got it.
Not like running.
Sure. Just walking in. And you're passing around this cold environment that still is preserving these large pigs on hooks.
I have a shitty question to ask.
That's okay.
Do I get advantage because I'm shadow jumping?
I'll say because of the environment that you're in, yes. I'll give it to you. Normally not, but because there are lots of obstacles in the way, then definitely.
It's all good. It's all good. I didn't need the advantage anyway.
Got it.
I just wanted to beat Rook.
Oh, I see. What'd you get?
Because we're not a team. I got a 28.
28. Amara?
26.
26. Okay. And
Disappointed about a 26.
Amara, where are you shadow jumping to?
Look,
Along the walls, but where do you want to end up?
I want to be able to see round Terry. I want to kind of be still along the walls. I want to be almost on an angle where he's looking over. So if he's higher than us or, looking directly out, expecting people to be there, I want to kind of be off to the side hey, how's it going?
The actual room, that large rectangular room, it goes in a rectangle but then stops. There's a small gap where it stops and then this larger plain area appears where then 2 steps up you can all see him. He's still
so I'll
sitting.
Stop
before that. Yeah, that's fine.
Oh wait, he's on
his chair. A couple of steps up.
And we can see him.
You can see him. You need to actually go through the pigs though to get to the point where you can see him.
Could I line up a shot?
If you'd like.
Should I assassinate?
If you'd like. So.
I'm assuming I've walked past the pigs.
Thorum is right beside you as he seems to be leading the walk,
Just
and
pigs left, right, and center.
yeah, and you are pushing your way past them.
And who am I noticing there just around Terry?
As you emerge from this group of carcasses, you notice with that heavy smell of pork, you've reached the end of it, and in front of you, the same, say, 15-foot area of just plain wood that's very clean, without blood or any offal. Thank you. The 2 rooms, 1 door on each side, still there, and from the right-hand room, you still hear this echoey. This, and it is dark. The only lights now that are still on, that you can tell me if you want to turn these or extinguish these too, are the very small torches, one on either side above the chair where round Terry sits. And as you walk up to that point, you see him leaning over one of the armrests with a large flat hand holding a fat cigar. This really big round smoke, and this air of tobacco seems to fill it with this woody, gravelly smell.
Is the room in this part dark because I turned the lights
Yes.
on? Okay, cool.
Can I look around and specifically looking for his, I guess, bodyguards that he had last time? There was someone with 2 swords, was it?
The female.
Particularly her, but anyone.
Make a perception check. Make perception or investigation, whichever one's higher for you.
That would be 21.
21, okay. Looking around, you neither hear nor see anyone else.
Are we still on the move?
You've come right to the edge now, passing by these pigs, and you're still seemingly hidden.
Is Friezo still with us?
Friezo is with Thorum and with Gunnar, and also with Dench, as they are the 4 that are visible, and with.
Is Amara with me?
You can't see Amara, and no, she's not. You can't see her.
And Gunnar's not with me either.
Gunnar's with the rest of the group. That is visible, and in front.
So I'm on my own behind.
You're on your own.
I'm just going to be observing round Terry then, seeing as how he's the only one there.
Thorum speaks up at this point and says,
I'm going to...
Yes,
if that's possible.
please.
I'm preparing an arrow.
okay. At round Terry?
No. I've pulled an arrow out
Yep.
and I'm getting ready to dip it into something.
Okay, sure. Is that all you're doing for now?
That's what I'm doing for now.
Okay. Thorum starts to speak, and then the other hand, just holds it up and is held up in the air as Round Terry.
No. You return to me.
He's trying to hold it together.
It's okay.
I thank you.
Stop it! Damn it!
I'm good.
I thank you for this gift. Where is it? You have it on you. You have it with you. This key I want. Or have you come empty-handed, without an invitation back? Because I told you, if you want to see this dwarf with this friend of yours, you have to have brought this prize. You have to have won it. As you can see, I've been fair, without my guards, without my friends. Yes, you little one.
Does the clothes that he's wearing, are they clean or do they look like? I'm just imagining like he's just like covered in the whatever he's been eating.
To be honest, what he's wearing, good question. He's wearing a butcher's apron, and it is dirty. He seems to as well have possibly recently been just even either working or just for some sort of pastime. He seems to have recently been perhaps chopping meat or something like that, like as a butcher would. You then notice that just beside on the ground is a particularly large butcher's knife that's been embedded into the wood. That also has a little bit of dried blood on it. But this apron is white. It's covering his whole body. It's this large, flat-chested body, and it's like really broad shoulders, but it's dirty.
Can I ask? This chair that he's sitting on, is this like against the wall? Is it sitting out from the wall?
There is a gap. There is a space behind it, and then a wall. You can look at it. You see, it's probably about just a 5 foot.
Shadowy there, or something?
Yeah, there's shadows there. Yep.
This knife, how close is it to him?
The knife, like the butcher's knife,
That's in the wood.
it's in the wood. It's within arm's reach of him, so it's probably less than. It's probably only a few feet away.
Interesting. Who can I see? Can I see everyone?
Yeah,
I feel like he rolled a higher stealth roll than
yeah.
me,
You
so
won't be able to see Rook
but
though.
I can see everyone else. I'm gonna speak to Gunnar in his mind, and I'm gonna say, get it? Because it's Gunnar.
Yeah, I say, yeah.
Is Osei with us?
You haven't seen her. She did walk in, but you do not see her.
I'm gonna say, in your mind, Gunnar, I think I can shadow jump behind him and grab the knife, and I could maybe cut him open a little bit.
I'm just gonna shake my head like this, and I'll speak to Thorum.
Oh.
What are you gonna do?
In his mind, or
Yeah.
okay, he can respond. He can always respond to you. Yeah. In your mind, he responds. I don't want to kill him. I want to do the trade. Isn't that what Farisa said we should do?
It's true.
So many this guy.
No. I know you may have intentions here. You may want to take advantage, maybe, of the fact that I don't have my friends. But just be warned, I'm not without my defenses. I might be slow, but I'm old. So you just keep that in your mind. But if we can just
Hit
make
that mic.
if we can just make this a nice, clean deal like we did. Who has it?
Speaking of his defences, has this been about a minute since I've been observing him?
Not quite, actually. It's only been about 30 seconds, about half the time. Good to know. And Farisa, who is currently Bavolo, he currently has the key. And he slowly takes it out of his cloak and he puts it down onto the ground. Right in front of you. Right in front of you guys. About a foot away. And in the voice of Bavolo, he says, "Well,
No.
here it is. Here is your prize, my lord. If you do want to get it, what are you giving us again? Perhaps some time with this dwarf? Perhaps we can take him now."
Dench is just cringing, holding back the urge to punch Farisa currently.
I'll say in Farizo's head, and I'll let him reply, even though probably doesn't need me to. Hey, should I kill this guy after you guys see this dwarf?
In your mind, he responds immediately and says, "Not until we know what his intentions are."
Do you want me to stay down here and I can hide in the shadows and be ready to make a move if he tries to?
Of course.
Okay, I'll do that then.
Well, this is what I want you to do. I want you to leave the key right there. Now, I've been talking to this person, this dwarf. I've been talking to him. He wants me to just take the dragon fella. The dragon, what's his name?
Thurum speaks up. "It's Thurum, of Thurum's 5.
Yeah, that's right. He wants me to take you, and you go in by yourself. He just wants to talk to you. That's part of the deal. None of you other people are gonna come in. And once you're done, you can take him away. He wants to
You
have.
think gonna come in?
No, I did not. You misunderstand me. So he just wants this Thorum fella to come in, and then he's gonna take you out. Come out with him, and then you can take him with you. I get the key, bippity boppity.
Can I hear any of the conversation from where I am?
You can. Round Terry has an extremely soft voice, but you can still make it out in that small room.
His projection is okay. It's just soft.
I appreciate it.
Can I make my way up further, or am I kind of like just in the doorway that's...
No, if you wanted to, you could have made your way right to the very edge of the pigs.
Yeah.
And between the pigs and this conversation. I assumed you were there, but if you wanted to be right at the beginning...
Oh, no, I wanted to be as close
Yep.
to this room as possible.
Yep. That's where you are definitely unseen.
Yeah.
If you go any further, I'll need to get you to make another stealth.
Okay.
Because you'll be in plain sight then.
And that part of the room's lit, isn't it?
Only barely.
Barely.
It's lit.
Oh.
Thank you.
I always know that your goons aren't in this room.
I can only take the word from an honest businessman.
Can I inside check?
Yes, you can inside check.
Hey.
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he's lying.
Second that one of the night.
Oh, and that one.
No!
It is. You've never encountered an aristocrat like this before. Very, very shady looking, but to all what you can see and tell, he probably it looks like he's alone.
I'm starting to like this guy.
Also, how long has it been observing?
Now it's been a minute. So you want to know some details? Let me know in a second. Gunnar, what do you want to do?
This ring of true sight.
Yep.
The reason I was looking for it is I need to know need to attune to it.
Okay, no.
No? It's on my finger.
It is.
I'm going to try and activate it.
Okay. As you close your eyes for a moment, it almost burns for a split second as you concentrate on the magic. And you then open your eyes and you can see a projection of white light that, like the room being relit in reverse, vroom, 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 you see a much brighter room. Looking around, nothing appears to be any different from what it looks like without using the powers of this ring. The chair's still there, the rooms are still there. Nothing appears unusual.
He's alone.
He definitely seems to be alone. There's no one secretly hidden behind anything. No one's invisible.
Now, like I said, how do they say it? Time's a ticking. If you want to talk to this dwarf, I suggest to do it before I decide that this isn't a very good idea.
Can I ask, do I still hear the sounds of the dwarf coughing?
The dwarf seems to still be, every even couple of seconds, it seems to have a hacking cough or a groan or a shout of just one name, Thorum.
From where I'm situated, could I understand where that sound's coming from?
Yeah.
Or the direction of the door?
Yeah, so you are on the left-hand side of the room,
Yeah.
nearest to where the hors d'oeuvres and that room was where you were served the snacks.
That's behind us?
Behind us.
Yeah, okay.
On the opposite side of the room.
So he's behind, around...
He's he's within the room. So there are two rooms, one on each side.
Yeah.
Round Terry is here, in the center. And there's this area here that's blank.
So can I make it into that direction without...
You'll have to get you to make another stealth check.
That's it.
I'll get that soon.
Okay, I'm happy with that. 17 plus 9?
26, 25. Oh, 20, yeah, okay. I got that. Okay, so you sneak parallel to the last line of pigs, not touching any of them, not making them move at all. And you seem to make your way to this side. Amara, Rook, you do see Amara now on that same side. Amara, you still don't see him. But you're both now on the right-hand side of the room, in the same side that this door leads into the dwarves' room.
Is the door locked? Don't know.
You don't know. The door itself is probably it's the entrance to it is in plain sight, so that's in the actual clean area of the room, not where the pigs are.
And it's not guarded or anything.
No, it doesn't appear to be, but it is closed. It's this large wooden, red, sturdy-looking door with, at the top, a grate with metal bars. So you could look into it, but you'd be in plain sight.
Where did you come from? Where did you come from? Project on the dwarf. What? There's the bar, we can check. Okay, well, Farizo told me to Farizo told me to wait down here. I can talk in your head. And then in his head I say...
You could just whisper to me.
In his head I say, Farizo told me to wait down here and just keep an eye on the guy and be ready to attack him if anything happens, because this all feels very strange. So I'm gonna just be ready to shadow jump behind him and take that knife if I need to, and you can talk back to me if you like.
Like, We're killing Fat Tony. Are we killing the dwarf? Which guy?
Sorry, just don't block your mouth. I can't hear you.
Which guy?
Round Terry.
Oh, we're killing Round Terry. Okay.
No, we're not. Oh no.
I'm slightly confused about which one we're supposed to be.
It's happening.
Thorum speaks up and he says, "So you're saying I need to go into the room by myself, and my friends won't be able to follow me? He wants to talk to me. Can I bring one person? Anyone?" And Round Terry responds,
I'll allow it. I don't know. Maybe you pick one person. Maybe you pick two, I don't know. But I've just been told what I've been told. Now, this dwarf just wants you, Thorum. If you want to bring another person, this dwarf might not talk to you. Might not tell you about this Red Death thing, about how to cure it. If that's what you want, I can't stand in your way. But if you want to cure this thing for the people of all dwarves or whatever you want, then you have to do what it says, no? Bada beep.
Thorum turns and says to you, Gunnar, and you, Dench, and just, he does project it a little bit so you two hear as well. He says, "Do we think Osei is immune to disease?" Did she said she was, right?
Who's he saying that to?
These two, but he projects it a bit. You guys can hear.
I don't know.
Do I remember?
Roll an intelligence check.
Thank you so much.
I would imagine so if she's undead.
Oh, that's a really good check for me. 19.
Okay. Yes, you'd absolutely recall Osei mentioning during one of her discussions with you about her past and about vampirism in general, that vampires, when turned, do have an advantage of being immune to catching any diseases.
So Thorum's gonna hear in his head. Osei is immune to disease. Immune to disease. But if you get her hurt, I will have to kill you.
Nah, not gonna happen.
He says that out loud? Because
Yeah.
I don't let him respond.
He just says it out loud.
Okay.
And he then yells, "Osei, come on." And you see in the shadows emerging a very sneaky and stealthy but now visible pale vampire. And she walks up towards Thorum, looks towards Round Terry and says, "I will accompany him. Because if this dwarf is free and not in chains, then he needs someone to keep it away from him. And I will do that."
In Osei's mind, she's going to hear, yeah, Thorum's pretty weak.
Can she respond?
No.
Okay. She sort of gives a bit of a grin in your direction and looks at Thorum, pats him on the shoulder and says, "Well, shall we go in?" Thorum looks at her and then looks back at you and says,
Well,
do we just go in? Give him the key?
I get my bow ready and aim it at Round Terry.
Mm-hmm. Bavolo now says, "Well, it seems we're in accord." And he pushes with his foot this key in its box. It slides across the floor with a screeching sound, reaching the step where Round Terry very quickly, with one hand, grabs the box and lifts it and puts it onto his lap. A bit quicker than you would have assumed this large being would. He looks down at it and looks towards you all and says,
It's been a good evening then. It's a good deal. I'm gonna leave this place now. I'm gonna go. The dwarf is yours. You do with him as you please. And it is with great honor that House Boromir's greets you tonight. Thank you. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your patronage. This has been very nice. Next time when you come around, maybe we can have some biscuit. maybe some coffee, I don't know. Whatever you drink. We'll be the hosts.
Did someone say that they have been trying to capture this person for a very long time?
Whom?
I don't know, I'm trying to remember from last session. Was there like someone who's been trying to capture him, or...?
Not that you recall.
Okay.
So, as Thorum and Osei walks past the chair that Round Terry sits, Osei tentatively opens the door, and it is unlocked. And she...
Can I follow around Terry?
Do you want to follow Round Terry?
Yeah.
He's not moving yet. He hasn't moved from his chair.
Okay.
But I'll keep an eye on it. And as Thorum turns, he looks in your general direction and says, I don't know how long I'll be, but maybe do something else and let me know. I might let you know when I'm done.
I'm going to... Can he... To see us from where he's going, would he have to exit the room?
There's a grate on the door.
That's right. So I'm going to say to him in his mind, I say, if you need anything, tell me. In my mind, you could do this for 1 hour. But you have to be able to see me. So keep your eyes on me.
Gotcha. Does anyone else want to do anything else or say anything to Thorum or Osei before they enter? Okay. They walk in. The door shuts behind them. And then Round Terry simply nods at all of you.
You can leave now.
And that's where we'll take our 10-minute break. Halfway through. A little bit later. Apologies. But before we do...
How dare you?
We're going to take a little break. It'll be about... I think it's going to be about 10 minutes. But before we go...
Wait, can I add something about Round Terry?
Sure.
Just really quickly.
Please.
I don't know why, but I picture Round Terry as Mrs. Puff from SpongeBob SquarePants. And if you don't know what Mrs. Puff looks like...
Yep. Yep. Please.
I have
share.
gotten a photo up.
Oh, wow.
For everyone to be able to see. It's not great. But this is Mrs. Puff.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I don't know why, but ever since.
So maybe during the break I'll show you my depiction as well. It's an old reference, but I like that. I can definitely see Terry fine.
Terry Fold.
Amazing.
Terry Folds.
So good. Cool. Thank you for sharing. So, just before we're going to go on our break, do you have a shout out?
I do have a massive shout out.
Yeah, cool.
And I think you might have something ready for the shout out as well.
Maybe.
I just want to bring something out.
Okay.
Hopefully I can show.
Oh.
It would happen to be...
Oh, no.
Do you want to read it?
Why did you do that? I deserve that. That was absolute karma.
We're going to sing happy birthday? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Emily. Am I right? Happy birthday to you. Hooray! Hooray! Hooray!
anxiety sweats.
It's when's Emily's birthday?
Emily's birthday is actually tomorrow, but we're doing a
Bullet's gonna pull out.
Amazing.
pre-stream happy birthday.
opening
Oh.
You can open that now if you
But
want.
it's
I
not my
think
birthday yet.
you can open this
Open
one.
it now.
You're gonna need it.
Are we going to show the audience? Are we going to need it?
Yeah,
Right. That's interesting.
you're gonna be better equipped.
Oh no. Is this gift sponsored by anyone?
This gift is not sponsored by anybody.
How am I gonna open this? It's in a box. All right.
That's why you didn't have the gift before.
Oh, this is the Kraken box. I was like, why is it,
Why is it in a bag?
Why is it in an envelope? Who does this? Okay, this is like. I've been looking at this for so long online.
What'd you get?
It's the Critical Role bag of dice hoarding.
Hey, very nice.
For the woman that has all the dice.
Oh, beautiful.
Really?
Nice.
Thank you. We
Thank you
never
for
show
experiencing
affection on
that.
the stream.
I know.
It's
Thank you for
disgusting,
experiencing
really.
that, guys.
It's really gross.
Unnatural.
We actually don't know each other at all.
That's fair. Well, I'm looking forward to enjoying some cake.
Guys in here.
But we're gonna take 10 minutes. It's what is it? 8:39 at the moment. So we'll make it what 10 to 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, is that cool? All right, love it. And while Emily just goes and just puts all the dice in there and spends her break sorting that, we'll see everyone soon. See everyone at 10, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Oh my god, there's so many pockets
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Well, we had cake.
It was really good cake.
We had cheer. We had different music.
It sounds like there's a battle coming.
There is. Yes. Let's kill it.
And we had all the stuff. He's an innocent old man. Guys,
Round
okay?
Terry.
Goodness gracious. How dare you even suggest such a thing?
I feel like the sarcasm in your voice just indicates that we were right all along.
Maybe.
Just a little bit, not heaps, please.
You tell me.
While we have wine, we're all back. Nice.
Stop.
Okay, well, since we're back, I'm just going to get right stuck into it if everyone's cool with that. Excellent. Well,
You sounded a little Bavola-y there, and
well,
I get triggered every time.
let's continue.
Please no.
So, coming back into it. As Osei and Thorum close the door behind them, and this shout of utter, pure anger gets echoed through this small butcher shop. Thorum! And then silence as Round Terry slowly gets up off of the chair, gives you all a bit of a nod, and he starts to walk with his back to you, away from you, as he heads towards the door.
Which one?
The door leading to the kitchen where you attempted to go in. He opens it, turns once more to look at you all, and then closes it behind him. As he disappears from view, Bavolo immediately, revealing himself to be Fariso, says to you all, now, Rook, I trust you'll be able to find that thing again when need be. But for now, I think we should let him have it. Let him plan his next move. But just be aware that in time we will need it back.
I feel like that was a mistake.
I think for the purposes of saving the king, it was not. Perhaps I will regret that decision. We will just have to see. I also wonder what your next move is. You no longer have Barclays. Your task here is done. I have an errand if you are interested, but if you need to rest first, then please do. Be aware that this auction house does have some very marvelous things, items of value that may interest you from time to time. Whenever you are interested to go back there and perhaps bid on something that you might be interested in, the local Korenberg and the Shan Times will have the previews to these things. They're the local newspapers. Now, I have other things on my mind. Do you need anything from me before we depart here? This may take some time for Thorum to unravel what this dwarf needs and what he can offer in terms of a cure, perhaps. If he only wants to talk to Thorum, then I think our presence here is unneeded. The Boromar clan will probably move now. This place will probably end up abandoned, so I'll get our guards to come in and clear the meat before it becomes rank.
Are you talking about the other halflings here or the pigs?
Yes. Yes, I am, Rook. All of the above.
Dench. There might be a fight to be had downstairs.
I would leave him for now, but if you are looking to get your hands dirty, I may have something for you.
I want to sleep.
I need to rest too, Gunnar, and frankly, I would really like to just meditate and relax for a little bit. Frizo, can I ask what is this errand that you need us to run?
Word has reached me that there is something being built underneath the city. There are many secret places here. Warehouses and such. Places where people do sinister things, and it has come to my attention that there's some sort of thing being built around the cogs. But to invest, I haven't been able to find it. You might have to get some information. But then I also have received reports of others that have called you by name and have asked for you to meet them. It seemed urgent, but that particular thing might have you travel beyond Shan.
Ooh.
They call themselves the Trust. They're from Zalago, gnomes. They're a secret order of guards policing that state. Common citizens, 1 in 3 who have themselves just known as citizens, work for the Trust, making sure that there is law and order wherever there is to be found, and that no criminal goes unpunished.
Wasn't Frick from the Trust?
Are you saying that out loud?
Yeah.
Farisa looks at you and says, that name. He called himself that. Not look at that. He called himself that.
You need a dice bag of holding from your significant other named Ben.
Thank you, I'll do that.
Critical Role AU.
Wait. Frick was the one that spoke to you?
Fripp is, if he is the same character, then yes. He has called for you again, apparently.
He's the one that got the first.
The first?
Yeah, the first job from.
Oh.
Ben.
But if you do not want to go to him, that is understandable, because his concentration, his focus is not here. He may lead you outside of the city to other deeds and errands. If that is your journey, then that is fine. You can hear him out.
Frizo, can we ask you to do something for us in return?
Nothing needs to be in return. What do you need?
Can you try and track down a djinn that can, or someone who can cast wish? I know it's hard, and I'm not saying that we need this done tomorrow, but that is something that... Frizo, are you okay?
Something called in my throat. Continue.
Are you sure you don't have this red death?
No, I tightened my arrow.
This is a long-term thing that
Got it too now.
I'm asking of you. But it would be really helpful for our friend.
For I say,
Yeah.
capturing a djinn does one of 2 things.
I don't mean like trap it, I just mean coerce it.
The djinn, as a race, do not give up their wishes easily. They can only cast it ever so rarely in their lifetimes. We must capture one. Overpower it. That is the first step. and they are powerful. Killing it is easier. They have very subtle ways of escaping. They've learned that that is one way that the powerful have caused them to give up this power. The second thing that you must do and understand, it seems if you capture it, you will be doing a disservice perhaps to Barclays.
Yeah.
I must admit, Amara, I know you weren't there when I was with Barclays in the cellar, but the djinn that was there with Orlix wasn't much of a noble creature that you hear in the stories any longer.
But are there beings out there that aren't jinn that can cast these wish spells?
From what I understand, yes. However, once again, these powers are coveted. Therefore, the beings that have them have studied them for a long time. Only the legends speak of only the most powerful dragons, and perhaps other great archmages before us, before the 12, that had found old tomes. But then these powers twist them. They become undead and powerful, living beyond the grave. I call them liches. These beings are not to be trifled with. They hide in their abandoned homes, churches, swamps, caves, out in the wilderness, in solace. Study these things, become more powerful, become ever living. If you seek one out, prepare your very, very best. Bring an army with you, because half of it will not return with you.
However, we'd be doing a service to Khorvaires if we took one of these down.
Khorvaires would be grateful.
There is another alternative.
I don't want to kill her. However, if we can't use wish, then what I would ask is that you have far more resources than we have, and far more experience and far more power, from at least what I can assume. If you can use that to maybe find a way.
I will do my best. I will, among other fairly important tasks, I must admit, I will not forget about it, of course, and in passing, if something does emerge as a potential answer, then I will let you know immediately.
What about the planes? Is there a way to leave a curse behind?
How so?
I'm not too sure. We have access to the other planes with the machine that we had.
And what curse?
What machine?
What curse are you?
Vampirism.
Leaving it behind?
Possible. I'm not too sure.
When you say leaving it behind, however, what do you mean?
Is there not a place that we could take her to have this alleviated from her?
I see. Yes, there are. I was there. I was there at the mansion when I saw you capture this demon. Have you summoned it again?
No, not since then.
Please don't remind Rook, he keeps wanting to do it, and we have to talk him out of it so often.
It's freedom from your grasp. Is it possible? Bargain. Perhaps if you let it go, it can help you find the answer in its lairs.
But if we let it go, won't it try to kill us?
It may. If you are after something quick, if you're after the quickest way that I can envision, perhaps setting this thing free with the understanding in writing that it will do its best to find the magic needed. For in the eternal plains of Khyber, the hells and the layers, the artifacts that are hidden by these creatures are vast. It may know of something.
From my understanding of devils and fiends, though, this may come at a contract.
The contract will be in your favor because it wants to be free. It is bound by you. It does not have any answer to the bargain. The wording can be your own.
And how do you all feel about letting a devil back into the abyss
Well,
for the trade of Ursay's humanity?
well, we could contract it not to come after us. That could be part of it.
It's still a devil, though.
Yeah, but there's still a lot of devils in the world. There's a lot of things that have tried to kill us, kill other people.
Gunner? Dench?
Dench is just
I've only
here.
known you for like a day and a half.
He's just here to punch things.
I owe you some help with taking out your enemies. And then I'll
Do you feel fit to kill a demon?
feel pretty fit.
We don't need to kill it.
Went for a run the other day.
We don't need to kill it, Rook.
Maybe we should ponder on this.
Maybe we should sleep on it.
I think you're right. Gunner has been tired.
I'm tired too.
Well,
Maybe you and Dench can get into an arm wrestle.
Dench?
No,
Is there a table?
the only thing I'd say is that I told Thorum to talk to me telepathically if he needed me, so
It's a great shout.
I should probably stand here for the next hour.
Yeah. Do we know anything more? Oh, sorry. You know.
You know, we've actually fought the Dreaming Dark today, as well as go against an army of halflings. I think we've done enough, don't you?
Yeah, I nearly killed one in an alley.
Yeah, I think it's time for bed.
Gunnar, if you like, you can start to meditate here, and as soon as the hour passes, I can carry you.
Why don't you just tell Thorum where we're going? He can meet us there.
Because I told him that if he needs us, that I would be here.
He's got a Fae.
Yeah, and they have a being cursed with a disease up there, and Round Terry might come back, and the whole halfling army could come back, and then it's just 2 people.
I must admit, after Friezo,
I can stay.
do you feel like this is a safe time for us to leave?
If I stay, yes. And I will.
I'll stay with Friezo.
You
I
need
can
not.
take
You
it back.
you need rest as well. Go with your friends. I'll make sure that they are not disturbed.
Yeah, can I insight check that?
Sure.
I feel real bad doing it. Does Friezo know if I insight check him?
You're not sure.
You just poke an eyebrow.
Oh no, that was quite bad. Well, quite bad for me. It was a 13.
A 13. Okay. You were studying him for the whole conversation, and his mood,
I don't doubt that he's going to stay.
Understand.
It's just more like of a, oh, is he going to have their back?
Sure. It's very hard to tell what that intention looks like. His wording, he'll keep him safe, seems to ring true.
trust you, Fariso, but I also think it would be nice to spend some time together.
Are you deceiving him?
No, I'm actually not. The reason I laughed is because as it was coming out of my mouth, I was like, this sounds so dumb.
Yeah.
But it's not, that is genuine.
Okay.
There was no deception there.
Okay.
Or is there?
He sort of shrugs at this point. He says, "As you wish. Providing you get the rest you need, you're welcome to stay as well.
I'll meditate in the corner.
I understand you care for Thorum as well, so and Osei.
Well, mostly Osei.
That's fair.
Gunnar, we should head off.
Hey.
Amara, you be okay?
Go to an establishment of House Galanda. And I'll meet you there and hopefully get us a discount thanks to our good friend Barclays.
Oh,
We'll try.
This is what happened. This started when we went there. Maybe we should go to the cops.
Maybe a different Galanda establishment.
Or we could go to the cops where we have unlimited.
With Orlix.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Actually, to be honest, can I damn question? Is Orlix far from here?
Olix is probably very far from here now.
Oh, sorry.
Orlix
Tavern,
yeah.
tavern.
Orlix.
Oh, I see. Sorry. So
That's a Galanda establishment, is it not?
yeah. It's probably about another hour to an hour and a half walk.
Do you
So
feel like you could
it'll
be
get
traveling
you-
for some time?
What?
Do you feel like you could be traveling for some time?
I know where the cops are.
It's a good 2 hours away. I know you're already tired.
For like an hour and a half.
Would you be okay with that?
We already have rooms at the old
Yeah. That's also a
That
House
lady's
Galanda.
back there. I don't trust her.
Might be a good opportunity just for an intel for us that don't
I'm
need
going
sleep.
to sleep.
You can go to sleep.
I can't sleep.
Me and
while there's
Dench have
someone-
business.
We did the talks, so there's no reason for them to be angry with us.
You're right. You're right. There's no reason that the mob would do anything dishonest. You're right.
We'll be fine.
Gunnar, if you like, you can stay also and just sleep on the floor and
I
I'll
would
carry
rather
you.
not. I'm going to go.
Okay, well, it was nice knowing you.
I'll look after you, Gunnar. Come on. Have I not ever?
I'm not going to answer that. Let's go.
Have a good night.
Do you wink at the child? Is that what you do?
No.
Okay. So you start to make your way back, and
Making my way back.
you don't encounter anything. There's no one on the streets. It is quite bare. While Amara, you are with, and you Fariso, who sits and meditates as well. He seems to just close his eyes. You see him, the lids of his eyes are so slightly open.
Can I be like, I want to make it, because I've seen meditation before, I want to make sure it's at the least disruptive time possible from what I can, I guess, perceive and say, who are you meditating to? I'm curious.
He opens one eye and then the other.
Do you have a god?
I have a patron.
A patron?
Someone who has guided me through my years and was able to gift me some power.
It's not Ado, is it?
It is not.
Who is it?
Just think of them as one of the lords of the Feywild.
Ah. Interesting. There's a lot of pigeons in this room.
You go on if you want to continue the discussion.
Good stealth check. I never left.
If it's okay. It's okay with you. I'm gonna I'm well overdue for some meditation right now. So I'm gonna do the same.
Very
but
well.
not to your patron, to my
You meditate to whom you want, and I will mine. And he
I'm gonna sit like right next to him.
okay. He seems unperturbed.
I don't want to be creepy. I just want to make that real clear.
Yeah, that's fine. That's right.
It's just like when you sit down next to your friend
Yep.
at a table.
Yep.
Sexy friend.
So,
No, that's not what I'm trying to do.
as he pretty much ignores you, as he starts to just be very still and in his own thoughts, as you are. You three make your way back to the Inn of the Golden Sun. You see as you enter in that the lights seem to have dimmed. Initially, that's the first view, but then you see every second flame it has now been extinguished to make it a little bit of more of a moody, darker place of rest. And walking in, you see that there are a few people in the room still eating. You see a short, probably mid-teens in look boy that seems to be hurrying back and forth along the bar, making drinks, putting plates on the table, taking dirty plates back. The inn is not busy, but certainly there's movement. At about maybe 10 to 15 patrons are still drinking and taking stock of the late evening. A lot of them are dressed in sailor garb, very loose-fitting shirts and trousers. A bit of a fishy smell in the air, and one that seems to have this saltiness about it of a river or an ocean. As a lot of them are human, some of them are dwarf and elvish, a couple of gnomes, and as you enter in, this small boy stops and gives you a bit of a muted wave and goes back to what he's doing. So as you enter in, what would you like to do?
Do you smell that, Gunner?
What?
The sea.
Do I smell?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a good smell. You sure you don't want a drink before you head to bed? Maybe something to eat. We've all had a long day. Feels like 2, actually.
Yeah. Okay.
Dench?
He'll look over, and I've already started making my way back to the buffet to see what meat is left.
Yep. Still a good portion left. And as you just get a plate and start to...
I will take a good portion of meat from that.
All right.
I head over to the bar.
Mm-hmm.
Gunner?
Yes.
Food, drink?
Yeah, whatever. Just get whatever.
2 ales.
No, not that.
You said whatever.
Yeah, I'm still a kid.
Just a small ale. Come on, I've seen you not so young. And today is a odd occasion. Barclays has left us for now.
Alright, okay.
He very quickly puts silently 2 ales.
I'm sorry, make that a third as well for my friend at the buffet.
A third is handed to you. Tall wooden mugs, sealed. They look like the bits that have been stuck onto the side like the hull of a ship as he hands it to you. Very, very clean looking though.
And how much is this?
He just shakes his head and invites you to take them.
Have I already paid for these? In what capacity?
A shrug.
Has
Only.
someone else already paid for these?
You see... Make a perception check, actually. Make a perception check.
You see Mrs. Puff over in the corner.
Yeah. Maybe it wasn't safe, Gunner. Perception would be 13.
13?
Oh, sorry, no, 12.
12. Looking at him, very thin. You see that his eyes are a little bit weird. They're not blue nor brown nor green, but more of a grey, like a dull, not like a shining grey. They don't appear. They appear strange, but you can't really put your finger on why. You haven't seen eyes like this.
Trigger
before.
anything in my imagination?
No.
Just that it's odd.
Wow, wow.
Just it's a bit odd.
Okay. Well then, it'd be rude not to. So I take it. Thank you, and I give the little pot, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
It's a gunner.
Yep.
And
as you depart the bar, he sort of gives you a bit of a slight bow.
I turn. Dench. Maybe this will put a dent in the meat you're eating.
I have the plate of meat in one hand, the other bit of meat in the other hand, so I'll put that in the mouth and grab the thing while still chewing on the meat, but try to not let it drop.
Make a dexterity check for me.
That's a 2.
2 1s and a 2, Dench. Oh
Need
my
new dice.
gosh.
Underwhelming.
Where's your medal dice?
Four in
Yeah, where's the
A 4 in
dice I
total?
gave you?
They're all dice you gave me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was what was wrong with the ones.
No, I'm just saying.
Oh
that.
no.
You almost do it. You almost use both your hands in a way that you've done before, but then the fork hits the side of this mug quite heavily, a bit more too heavily than you thought, and it just pours all over you. This thick, sweet ale is just all over your front now. You see a couple of people look around and give you a bit of a laugh from another table.
Dench.
I'm going to, and the meat's still in my mouth.
It is.
Be a muffled. And then where the laughing was coming from, I'm going to give them a pretty good glare.
Make an intimidation check.
Yeah.
Intimidation check.
Better. So that is a 23.
A 23 intimidation. They go from this and just huddle, just shrink back into them silently, just sipping, and once every so often just look behind them.
I'm going to approach them and just take one of their drinks.
Oh.
Okay.
I'm gonna lean back on this table. I'm gonna. Let's watch what happens.
You see, then you go straight for it, and without pause, you grab the drink. Are you doing anything while you're grabbing it, or just taking?
Taking it, and then I'll cheers the other person at the table.
Okay.
And walk away.
All right. They give you the very slightest look with a, and it chinks, and then they just go back to what they're doing.
And I'll smile at them behind the meat.
Okay. this gristle just through the teeth is your reply, and you go straight back, and you have an extra ale.
Cheers.
Okay.
Well, that was a bit exciting.
Yeah. Guy's gonna take a sip of this ale.
In your mind, you immediately get a familiar but one voice you haven't heard in a while. I say, how does that taste? Does that taste good? Because I personally think you shouldn't have had that.
It's awful.
Well, that is true. So why did you even accept this drink, Gunnar?
Well, he was being really pushy.
Well, if you were in a right mind and not so tired, you may have resisted his pushiness. But
It's late.
I understand, and you should be in bed and not taking advice and sips of this horrid drink from these people.
Yeah.
Why do you surround yourself with such incompetence, Gunnar?
Whoa.
He's not that incompetent.
Well, very well, if you say so.
I think.
And you hear Kips in your mind just rolling around and just making small circles around your neckline.
I think I'm gonna go to sleep. I'm really tired.
That's understandable. We've actually, I feel like 48 hours has been massive. I don't think we're too far behind.
I'm gonna go upstairs.
Would you like me to come with you?
No. You can stay here.
You watch Gunnar go upstairs. Are you simply going to go to bed?
Yeah.
Okay.
I will spend a few moments reading and writing in my book, and then I will go.
All right. You drift off to sleep, still having the key from the room that is available to you.
What I will do though, just before I go to bed, I'm assuming there's like some kind of lamp in the room.
There are a few.
Okay, so I'll turn them all off, and then the final one I'm assuming is like next to the bed. I'll try and make it, for a moment I'll concentrate on it, and I'm going to try and make it like, turn it into a small pseudo-dragon, the flame, and have it dance around a little bit. And then snuff it out.
All right. Using your control flame, as you concentrate on it, you see that smaller than the very tip of the blueness that the light from a flame brings, this larger piece breaks into many. You see that these pieces of fire become smaller and break apart to become smaller and smaller and multiply, and then it shifts and then becomes the shape of your choosing. This small serpent of fire lashes out towards the bed, and then a shot of flame emerges from the shape of its mouth as it rolls around back into itself and slowly extinguishes. And you lay your head down, accomplished, and fall asleep quite quickly. What are you two doing?
Dench, do you feel like a card game?
How much are we playing for?
I heard you lost 10 gold.
Welched on 10 gold.
Well, then let me try and repay you back. For me, I'd pay 10 gold for this. A friend taught me that left us recently, Barclays. I don't know if it ever caught on, but I can teach you.
Let's do it.
As you lay out a deck of cards that you have on hand, teaching a long-forgotten game. The game of Gwent.
You seem so unhappy about that.
He's actually quite familiar with Gwent.
So, in the meantime, Amara, an hour passes. Fariso has his eyes open as you open yours, but there is silence. Fariso looks over to you and gives you a bit of a solemn nod, as the scene around you that has not changed, but nor has the re-emergence of Thorum and Osei, and he looks at you, and in your mind he says, they appear to be still going.
Can I see Thorum from here, through the grate?
Yeah? You'd have to get up and walk over and look in. Where you are at the moment is a little bit away from the edge of the hanging pigs, just on the ground towards the middle, but you have sat down.
Sorry, I'm just double checking if I have to see them.
That's okay.
I get a little confused. Doesn't say anything about me having to see anyone as long as they're in range. It just says if they reply,
Sure, that's fine.
they have to be able to use this ability. The creature must be able to see you, and you must be within 90 feet.
I'll allow it. Go
That's
for
the
it.
talking back
Yep.
feature.
Yep, no problem.
So I'm gonna try and communicate with Thorum in his mind and say, "Hello, is everything okay?"
Immediately you hear back a, yep. Talking to him now.
Okay. How much longer are you gonna be?
A while. He
Okay.
he can't really hear me.
Okay, I'm just gonna stop talking to you for a second. Give me a sec, and then I'm gonna cut off his ability to communicate with me.
Sure.
I'm gonna talk to Osei and say, hey, it's Amara.
Yes.
What's going on?
Thorum is attempting to speak to this creature. This creature is hideous. It's every second word that it says is incoherent. They're speaking in whispers. I am in between this creature and Thorum in case this creature attempts to try and leap or make a run for him, so I can intervene. It is taking longer than we thought because he's mad.
Would it help if I tried to speak with him telepathically?
It has been attempted already. It seems to have been tried by the dwarf himself, perhaps a power that he used to have. But all Thorum describes the response as being is the same blabbering nonsense. This would just take time to decipher.
What does it say?
From all we've gotten so far is that many in the Mrul holds have been captured or killed by the Drow, who have overtaken Krona Peak, its capital. That's it.
That's it.
That's all we've been able to get from him so far.
Anything that you can't decipher?
Plenty, but it's all been gibberish.
Well, maybe I can ask Farizo. He might understand.
They're simply sounds. They're not in a particular language.
Right, I understand. I don't want to leave you guys here.
For now, we've been safe. The hour has passed, and it doesn't seem to have any threatening stance towards Thorum.
I'm not worried about it. I'm worried about people that could return here.
That's true. That is up to you. Is it just you there?
It's me and Farizo.
Friso's powerful.
Yeah, he is, but also, if all of them come back, can Farizo really take them all on? And
He can at least help us escape quickly.
Yeah, but I don't want to leave you guys.
You can stay, but I feel like he has our backs. I hope he does. He has so far.
I agree. I'm not questioning Farizo. I'm more just worried from a personal standpoint. The others are at the Golden Sun Tavern. I need rest, but I don't need it, if that makes sense. What would you like me to do?
I've already offered my suggestion.
How would you feel safest?
I would feel safest if I wasn't in this place, but I feel safe with Farizo.
Would you feel safer without me or with me?
I feel concerned for you if they should all come, because your safety would be in danger. So that is my first priority as well. Therefore, we are at an impasse. So my ask is that you do leave and you do rest, because if you need all your strength, if they do return, that is the best way that's going to happen.
Okay, but you have to promise me something. And that is that if you are put in a situation of danger, I don't want you all to fight. I want you to run. Now you have to promise.
I promise.
Insight check.
Go for it. Do it with disadvantage because you can't see her.
That's fair. Oh, I shouldn't have packed these away. Fun times. Oh, they're both so bad. Hey, it's my birthday. Tomorrow. Insight? Fuck, okay. 11.
Okay.
That's a bad roll.
It's hard to tell what her intention is, but you seem like so far the conversation has been sincere from her part.
Fine, but if you get hurt, I'll be really I won't be angry, I'll just be disappointed.
Very well, Amara. I appreciate your concern. Please rest.
I will. Tell Thorum I can't communicate with him anymore because I'm going to rest.
I will let him know.
Cut off
Okay.
telepathic. I'm going to look at Farizo and say, hey, it's taking a while.
It's taking whatever length is necessary.
Yes. Yes, I agree. I also agree with Osei, who has said that it's best for me to go and rest, and that you are strong enough to help them get out if they need to.
I will make sure that if any danger is perceived to be overwhelming, then we shall make a quick departure.
I'm going to ask the same thing of you that I ask of Osei, and that is that you don't fight these things if they come back. It's that you leave.
I will save your friends before I engage in them, yes.
If Osei and Thorum die, I will be very upset.
Acknowledged.
We've lost a lot of people. We don't need to lose more.
Understand, Amara.
I won't be angry. I'll just be disappointed.
I've heard that.
You hear that every day. And I will look at Farizo and say, it's always good seeing you. Even in these weird circumstances. When should I expect to see you next?
I'm not sure. I'll probably contact you when I know more about Thorum and Osei.
We'll be at the Golden Sun.
Very well.
I'd like to hear more about your patron one time. I'm interested. I don't know much about these things. Until then, though, and I'm just going to start shadow jumping out.
Okay. As he blinks, you see him for a moment simply looking around a bit confused, and then a knowing smile as you exit the butcher shop of Derok. Are you making your way back? Yep.
To the Golden Sun. If I can shadow jump, I will. Otherwise, no, screw it. I'm just going to walk.
Okay.
I don't walk much. I'm going to walk.
Well, a fairly peaceful travel greets you. You hear the odd owl in a spire a distance away, and the echo rolling through this part of town. As Upper Central, being this particular ward, is silent, and without movement, you make your way back. The Inn of the Golden Sun before you, and inside, in the middle of what looks to be a fairly intense game. I'll do a similar thing that I've done a time before. Could I get both of you to roll me, and don't tell each other what the rolls are yet, but in order, and remember the number: a D4, a D6, a D8, and then a D20.
Roll them all together.
One at a time is fine, or all together, up to you.
Don't react. It's gambling.
Ah, right. Maybe
So-
I'm woofing because it's good.
Did you wager?
10 gold?
10 gold.
Okay. So essentially, lowest total total number wins.
Lowest total.
Lowest total. So, count up now the sum of all of the results, and then one at a time reveal your cards and tell me your number. So add everything together. What'd you get?
It all the full amount.
Yep, full amount.
17.
17 in total.
8.
You got an 8 in total of all those dice.
3 1s and a 5.
I was actually happy to get in that one.
Wow. And as you show your hands, Rook, you are the lowest, and you win that wager.
Look, I trained you. One more time. Does he hand me the gold first?
Yeah.
All right.
So, no. Leave it on the table.
Double or nothing.
I think I'm doing you a service by leaving it 10 gold with that hand.
Double or nothing.
Double or nothing.
All right. Roll again.
And I'll be cursing the deck that I have.
As you pick up these cards, one after the other, add them up.
$19.
11. Okay.
It's actually Osei.
Huh.
Dench is quick to anger at these type of things. And he's literally just going to rip the deck in half. That he's
Dench,
got.
please.
Make a strength check for me.
Yeah, did you rip it the right way?
He should have. He should have. It's 20.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah.
He just snatches the cards and all in one go, just tears in a very quick action, and they just crumble in half.
I'm doing that cocky, like leaning back on my chair, feet up on the Wild West style. Dench, please.
Do I see this happening?
Yes.
It's literally like a mini tantrum, but from like a 7 foot tall, like 400-pound thing.
Take away the deck of cards as in your inventory.
Dench.
It was just my deck.
Oh, yours.
My part of it,
Okay.
was-
Oh, yours still. It's a useless deck of cards now without that half.
Keep your 10 gold, Dench.
No, he's like throwing all the pieces of his deck. He's trying to get his like coin purse out of his.
No,
wherever
please
he keeps
keep
it.
the money.
No.
I was here for a game, not the cash.
He's still just swearing under his breath, getting it, but he's all flustered and pegging.
Can I
20
persuasion?
gold on the table. in
Persuade
front of
him.
you.
Doesn't work between players per se. It's just a matter of your conversation and what you want to do.
If you keep your gold.
It's not about the gold.
No, I know, but if you really want to win at something, you should verse Amara.
Speaking of Amara, if this is all happening, and I assume, hopefully, they haven't noticed me yet.
You were shadow jumping, so I'll get you to make a stealth check.
Yeah.
Oh no, you weren't shadow jumping. Did you
No.
want to try and hide it?
I don't want to hide. I just want to not make myself known.
That's enough for us to need to do
Stealth?
an opposing. Make perception checks, please.
Can they do it at disadvantage because they're playing cards?
Do I get
No,
zero
it's
advantage
still
because we're both
fairly
looking-
light.
I got a
No,
nat
you
20.
You don't need this.
You're nat 20.
Nat 20 plus
Kraken.
7.
Kraken.
Kraken. Perception, is it? Wait, is this?
If they also get a nat 20, then it does.
It's only an 8 in total.
Uh-huh.
If I dropped a 0 on this, it'd be a Kraken.
You do not notice. What do you want to do?
I think it's like a
27.
4 or
What
something.
do you want to do?
Is it dim in this bar?
It's
Could I
dim.
shadow jump in this
Yeah.
bar?
Yep.
I want to shadow jump behind Rook's chair.
Yep.
And as I appear, I want to go ah! behind him and scare the shit out of him.
You consider yourself absolutely frightened,
I'm frightened
Rook.
for a minute.
Yeah. Not for a minute. But you do get a jump as you look around and you see Amara just suddenly appear.
I feel extra paranoid because I just mentioned her name and she's there.
As he looks around, is it dim enough that I can shadow jump from where I am to behind Dench?
Yeah.
I'm gonna, as soon as he turns around, I'm just gonna disappear and then appear behind Dench and be like,
You still don't see her. You see her, Rook.
How did you...
Smelt that breath
How did
behind
you
me
react?
before.
Yeah. You saw Rook just jump, and then look around, and then look forward.
Still slightly calming down but seething. I'll be looking at what he's...
Looking around in his direction, Amara does become visible to you.
Can I ask, are you going to keep your 10 gold or are you giving me 20?
I've already removed 20 from my thing, so...
Did I hear them
I
say
threw
about-
it in the tanty on the table in front of you.
Mhm.
Did I hear them say about if you want to beat
Yeah.
someone at something, you should...
Yeah.
Hey! What attention I doing?
Playing a card game.
What does that mean?
Barclays
Why
wins.
is he going to beat me?
Well, I haven't seen you win a hand at this before.
I haven't played before.
I'm sure you had.
No, I haven't played before. I've sat there and convinced people to lose.
Well, now's your time. Do it for Barclays.
You don't even... Did I see him ripping up the cards?
I've seen
No.
it on my deck.
But there would be pieces everywhere.
Yeah.
You've got half this deck.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's
There are pieces on the table.
That's half of your deck.
Mm.
It looks like someone has ripped up the cards, and that would be silly. But we can play this game again, or we can play another game that I used to play at my monastery. It's called hide and seek,
Oh my gosh.
and basically we hide, and one of us is trying to find the others
And how long does this game go for?
until everyone is found. But like, you stay in the building. You don't leave the building. I'm not gonna like go to the plane of Delcor or anything.
But you do have the instrument to do so.
I'm not gonna do it. I don't want to go back there yet.
10 gold.
Are you hiding or seeking? I've got an idea. Why don't we hide and hope that Rook can find us? Wait, no. Let's paper, scissors, rock to find out who's going to hide and who's going to seek. It's 2 games in 1.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know what that means.
Starting to seethe again. Maybe a little bit of hot air.
I won that, so I'd like to hide. Do you also want to hide?
I'm not too sure if I'm quite fond of this.
Oh, come on.
At this point, you see the small boy bartender replace the empty mugs with another round, giving you all a bit of a silent nod and moving away again.
Come on, Rook. I've never played a game with
Remember,
you guys.
Gunner is asleep upstairs.
That's fine. We're going to play 1 round of this game and then we'll go to sleep. I need to sleep too.
Yes, I've seen you hide. You just creeped up on me.
Okay, that was shadow jumping. I wasn't hiding.
Ugh.
I can't do that. I'm going to find one place and hide.
Fine.
So who's hiding between the 2 of you? Whoever wins hides.
I'm upset for the D. I don't know how he's gonna. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm searching, I guess.
Yeah, so you get to seek. So how this works, you're going to count... You're going to count to 60 seconds, and when you get to 60 seconds, you're going to come and find us.
Okay.
I won't shadow jump
Okay.
away from you.
After this, I must rest, though.
Me too. I should have rested already, but this sounds fun. Are we putting money down? Should we do that?
10 gold.
I'll put 10 gold down too.
10 gold, then I take the jackpot if I find you.
Yeah, but if we're the last, like if whoever's the last to be hidden out of the both of us, if you don't find us within, let's say, 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
10 minutes. If you don't find us within 10 minutes,
I have to find both of you.
well, no. Whoever's the last to be hidden wins.
If I find you, you're not up to find the other.
What? It's like sardines. I'll come and help you.
Okay.
All right.
I love how you just understood what I just said.
So, I need both of you to make a stealth check and tell me. Don't tell me where you want to go, where you want to hide, but
decide
with the
that,
layout
that's fine.
of the inn in question, you notice that
We leave the room.
that the no, just give me a bit of a text or something or a Facebook message as to where you would like to hide. The inn has 10 rooms. You have access with a key to 3 of them. You also see the bar, and behind the bar you also see a door leading to a kitchen. You also see what seems to be obviously outdoors. But apart from that, it's a fairly plain looking inn. Looking around, it's I mean, out of all the inns you've been in, probably not the best option to hide in. But you're not sure is in one of these rooms what you could find to hide, or the kitchen, or behind the bar. So feel free to ask me questions about the inn if you'd like as
I'm
well.
gonna message you what I want to do.
Okay. Go with Messenger, please.
Oh, I was texting. That's fine.
I just can't find my phone at the moment.
Okay, that's fine.
I lost it.
It's gone now.
It is.
Who thought we'd be playing hide and seek in a D&D game?
So in the meantime,
Yeah.
look, you're closing your eyes. Okay. As these two companions start to move away from each other, and you start to count.
60 seconds.
60 seconds.
First 60 seconds, I cast locate object.
Yep.
You jerk.
And then after that, I cast a second locate object.
Yep.
Wait for a minute.
Yep.
You
That's cheating.
didn't say anything about using magic.
That's true.
And I focus in on Amara's quarterstaff. And for Dench, I'd imagine spending the time with him, I would have noticed something that he'd had.
Have you touched my quarterstaff before?
Yeah, you asked me to touch it. There was a broken part about it.
What have you been touching on mine?
I need to be familiar.
Are you familiar with it?
Don't need
Familiar is probably a 10 minute study, which you did with the key.
Yeah.
I don't recall anything specifically of dentures.
Dench, yeah.
So during the time of the counting up to 60 seconds,
Yeah.
in your mind you can almost imagine yourself in real life doing the counting. The counting, it's almost like you're speaking in your head, and you're going 1, 2, 3. And as you go up in number, it's odd. You hear what seems to be, and you stop and you get interrupted by someone, a different voice, counting it with you. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. And you stop, and the counting continues. 23, 24, 25. This is fun. 27, 28.
Am I to understand this voice, or
You haven't you don't recognize it. But something is speaking in your mind.
do I feel that sensation that I hate when Amara talks in my mind, where the hairs on the back of my neck stand up?
They do. You feel the shiver in your shoulders. Don't be upset. I was just testing.
This is something I disdain in my mind. I'm not sure if you can hear this.
I can. I'm sorry. I hope it isn't angering you.
No, it's just intrusive.
It is. I'm still learning, but I'll make sure that doesn't happen without your permission again, Rook.
You know my name then? I was focusing on Amara and her staff.
That's one way to find her, yes. It's a good game, isn't it?
Perhaps? Forgive me, I'm not too sure who you are.
I apologize. Well, do you want my human name?
The name that you go by is fine with me.
That people call me Poro.
And Poro, I'm sorry about my introduction to you. Is this the first time we've met?
Yes, it is.
And why are you in my mind?
You feel this small finger tapping on your shoulder, and you turn instinctively, and you see the bartender, the small boy, looking up at you, and this time his eyes are lighter grey, silvery, and turning, just slowly spinning. You can see these white, small lights like stars within a galaxy. Looking in, you can see that he's smiling at you, and sparkling vision looking back. And in your mind he says, I've not been in this form before. It's a bit restrictive.
Are you okay?
I'm uncomfortable, but I'm okay.
And why do you interrupt me?
Well, I've been told to. I was asked, and I needed to. My friends, my family wanted to remind you that they're still here, and hope that you haven't forgotten about them.
Do I recognize this child?
I've not seen this boy before,
Or the voice?
nor the voice.
Remind me. I must admit I'm slightly confused.
Well, we've been put. My family and friends. We can understand where you are. We can understand that you have what we've written. But we can't write anymore. We can't change what is to come. Because we're trapped. My family thinks that they're okay, but they're really not. And so they call for your help.
Can I make a history check to see if I know what he's talking about?
Sure.
Or is there any markings on him? That...
Make a perception check first then.
Yeah. It's 4 maybe?
You can't see anything. You can't see anything too obvious. No. You can make another history check if you want.
Do I have distinct feelings of an orphanage?
Nothing. Nothing comes to mind. No.
No.
But he continues. He says, "Just know that we've been watching you, and you have your tasks, you have your errands, you have your personal demons, but what is written can't change. The prophecies won't change, Rook. I'm the youngest. We're from the chamber, you see.
The one where we slayed the dragon.
Yes and no. We are the beings that write the prophecies. Were the beings. I'm in this form because I'm afraid that if I was my true self, I would be hunted or chased away. They do not understand us humans. But I think you do. I think you and your friends, you have seen us as we are, and you're not afraid. We entrust that you will wake us. We were on the rocks, asleep. Through the door, in that long golden hallway. And you then do remember that in the very long golden hall, close to the byway, is one of the doors that you had opened.
Yeah.
Looking through it, you saw a great ocean where these spires of rock in the very far distance were beds, or just simply places that enormous dragons did not move, were sleeping, of all colours, were blues, greens, golds, silvers, blacks, and they were not moving, but the ocean churned around them, eating away at the rock at the base. And the vision almost enters your mind as though you're seeing it in this very moment in time. And in another intrusion perhaps from this child. So just be aware that we haven't forgotten about you, and we hope you have not forgotten about us. Without waking us, the writings will not change. And the visions that you've seen, that will come to pass. And your enemy will win.
If you're speaking of the Warforge...
He sort of shakes his head a little bit. No.
Tiamat.
No. The illusionist. He who will make the world simply unbelieving. Fraser Blue.
If you can see into my mind truly, I conjure up an image of the gentleman we met in the byways with Gunnar.
Oberdin?
Oberdin, yeah. Is this who you speak of?
He shakes his head, and in your mind, you see this enormous gargoyle, leathery beast with these leathery wings, these enormous leathery whiskers, 4 of them, 2 on each side of this enormous maw, of this very square face and a round belly, and as big as a whale, almost double the size. In the room that you were in, and the vision you saw when Biceliu was slain. This, do not forget him, because he has not forgotten you, and he knows that you and your friends, you are the only thing in his path.
I think I remember now. The portal in the mines.
Go on.
The sword I took from that demon. And the hell march of demons that were supposed to come across the waste. It's been some time that I've had any leads on this.
I'm here to give you one. To point you in that direction. There is one person that moves things aside, shifts the crowds apart, so that they can find the correct path through. They are just distracting you, moving you one way or the next, pulling your arm left and right, so that you don't focus on the task ahead. Seek out the gnome. He can tell you more.
I must admit, my friends, though, they need assistance.
The Red Death? You must take care of this. You must take care of the Warforged. Now, the Red Death... The Red Death is a priority. That is what you should seek out and put a stop to right now. That is your path. If the Red Death takes over Khorvaires, as it is currently doing, then no one is going to muster the armies available to defeat the Warforged if they come back with more. The dwarves are needed to stop that. It is a flow-on effect. The Warforged can be taken care of then and pulled apart piece by piece if the Red Death was put under control and put down. Seek out the gnome of the trust, because he has other information that might benefit you.
Do you speak of Purback?
No. The gnome that gave you your very first task.
I understand.
I must continue here, and you need to find your friends. And as such, he turns, and now you feel almost physically your head moves to the side as a pressure that was entered now departs, and you feel almost lightheaded, but the minute is up. So you're locating object, and he goes straight back to the bar, and he has not finished. He's still cleaning. He's cleaning now for the majority, and he's not looking at you anymore.
I don't know why, but I'm assuming that this child there's like a mesmerization. He has maybe nothing to do with it. I don't know.
You have no idea.
I'm going to concentrate on what I was originally doing.
Okay.
Yeah. I gotta win this hide and seek, bro.
Your mind stops for a moment, and your senses expand, and you simply pull out a hand and point. He's pointing directly at you, Amara. As you turn,
I don't even get to like. Does he see me, or am I hidden and he like knows which direction I'm in?
I can go up.
He. Okay, so for the purposes of this, you're sensing the staff at the moment.
Yeah.
Now, you're not sure how or why this is occurring, but are you going towards her? Or
I would
what
just
are you
feel
doing?
like, after that, I'd just be like, Amara!
Because you can see the staff in the very center of the very room that you're in.
What's she hiding behind?
Nothing. Well, she's hiding behind the table. It's quite odd. It's quite odd. You specifically the weirdest looking spot.
I want to be in the weirdest place in the biggest room.
It's odd. This is the biggest room, and she's hiding behind one of the larger tables in the room with a pretty thick leg, and she's trying to hide behind that. But you see the staff on her person.
Fuck.
Amara.
I'm gonna act like I'm not there. And I'm gonna just, in his mind, he's gonna hear, "Ooh, go and find Dench." And then I'm gonna not move. I'm just gonna stay where I am.
I'll walk up to Amara and I guess peek around the side of the table.
I'm gonna lie.
Amara.
I'm gonna break my promise and shadow jump away.
Okay. How long does locate object last for?
10 minutes.
Cool. Where are you jumping to?
Upstairs.
Okay. Like on the balcony leading into the room.
Yeah, but like against the wall.
Sure. It's very odd, but you know magic is in play here, as this figure, or the staff at least, is not there anymore. But then you just, as though your head followed it, it's now there.
And is that in the same room where well, it's not the same room, but the same level I would go to bed?
Yes.
Yeah, so I go upstairs.
Okay.
Um,
About a minute has passed now, just so you know.
if I was thinking about Dench, I'd be thinking about his fists. Because he's always like,
It's
my
not an
fists.
object.
But I don't know if that's an object or not.
It's part of a person. That would need locate person.
Are you objectifying me?
Yes.
Ah.
Amara, I know where you are.
He's looking directly at you.
Rock, let me win.
Fine, I give you 20.
How are you finding me?
Yeah, take
No,
this
I don't.
gold.
I don't want the gold. I just want the glory.
Oh, well,
How did you find
tell
me?
Dench
How
that
did you find me?
Tell Dench.
How did you find me?
I use a locate object.
You cheated.
I didn't.
You did.
You didn't say I couldn't use magic.
That's not how this game works.
Well, I don't know how
God,
these
you're
childish
so boring.
monastery games work. I didn't have this luxury.
Oh, okay. Luxury. All right.
2 minutes have passed.
I'm gonna be a stroppy
Okay.
young woman.
Sounds good.
And just be like,
You throw 10 gold at me.
I don't throw it. I just shove it into your hands and then I go.
That's the third person who
And-
shoved gold at me.
And I'm just like, as I walk towards my room, I'm gonna be like, luxury. Yeah, luxury, Rook. Look it up.
You can keep your 10 gold.
I don't want your money.
Alright, so I
I'm
pocket
gonna
my
go
gold.
into my room and
Okay.
At this point after the situation, and I was hoping Amara would want to take up the mantle to find Dench, so I could go to bed.
Still can.
You just go
Just
back.
let Dench.
Leave Dench hiding.
I'll look for Dench.
It's cramped in here.
You're in a chest and you just fall asleep in there.
Is there a room
Now you can
where he would feel cramped?
where he would
that's-
feel cramped.
That's out of game.
Now
Metagaming.
just make me an investigation check. Now investigation check is probably going to be about 5 minutes as you make your way around
ooh.
and see if you can find him.
Okay.
I used my last pass without a trace.
Can you check this? Can you check this?
It's a natural 1.
Okay.
No, I'm joking. It's
Oh,
a
okay.
nat 20.
It's a kraken.
It's a kraken.
Yeah, nice.
+5.
Nice.
25.
Okay, so for the purposes of this, you look all downstairs. You actually are seemingly okay to go through the kitchen, and you scour.
Just looking for Dench, guys.
Yeah, in the pots, in the pans,
He's
in the
pesky.
cupboards, in the wardrobe, in the like the vegetable cupboards. It's you go out and you look behind plants. You go everywhere in the common areas, and he's not there at all.
Not 20.
He never existed.
He's
Go, bro. 7 foot tall.
He's planking somewhere.
He's actually in his bed.
Can't find Dench. I'm going to bed.
All right. Cool. You head upstairs
Dench gets 10
and
gold.
you head to bed.
Well, he gets the 20 gold actually.
So
I don't lose anything.
you all have a long rest and are not disturbed throughout the entire evening.
I'll meditate beforehand, obviously.
You wake up and you are refreshed. All of your spells and your hit points are relieved.
Relieved.
I'm more happy about my key points. I had 0.
As you all open your eyes and you sort of look around a little bit, you all think about the last few days and the departure of Barclays and the battles and the battle that you've fought and the bargains that you might need to make in the future and the person watching over you, Rook, only feet away from you, and the responsibility that you still need to accomplish. But you feel bolstered by the protection you have and the friend you have and the task of Thorum's that now seems to stand in front of you and the first port of call, at least directed by this messenger. As you wake up, you feel strengthened. Level 10, guys.
What?
Yeah.
Happy birthday to me.
Except
Wait,
Thora.
wait.
Except
We gotta
Thora.
do this on the stream.
And Barclays.
Can I just say, if I roll a 1 for the 3rd time,
You don't get a level up at all?
What are you doing?
Yeah, what
roll
are
my
you
hit
doing?
points.
Oh, for hit points, yes.
Oh.
You're welcome to roll your hit points right now if you like. Level up. Absolutely.
Bro, hold on. If I roll a 1 for the 3rd time, do I just get a 1?
Yep. You really, really do. Yep. Well, you're welcome to
Blow on it.
Thorum, if you're still watching, you can level up your character.
It's a 4.
It's a 4. Good. Good.
Good. Oh my god, level 10. I'm so excited. I think I'm immune to poison now. Level 10.
Level 10.
Take a minute to roll your hit points, and we'll return into the morning when you are ready.
Oh my god, I'm immune to disease and poison now. I'm immune to disease! Ooh, my walking speed is 50 feet now. And my telekinesis is 100 feet.
You mean telepathy?
Telepathy, that's right. Not telekinesis.
Instead of 60.
Instead of 90. It goes up
right.
10 feet every level.
Oh yeah, cool.
It's a little bit good.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I feel very powerful and good.
I got an 8 plus 2, which is 10.
That was plus your Constitution modifier.
yeah.
Cool.
You don't add your modifier, it does it automatically.
When you roll it. I rolled it with this one.
Yeah, so it adds your modifier automatically.
With-
You only have to add the natural roll.
The 1d10.
Yep.
You don't add plus 2 when you roll.
Nope.
Like when I roll like that, I need to add 2
No.
with the Constitution.
Nope. It does it.
Constitution adds 2, doesn't
It
it?
does it every
I
level.
think she's talking about the app.
Yeah, no, I wasn't using the app.
No. So this,
Yeah.
when you level. when you go to
Really?
level 10, it actually
Very
automatically
nice.
levels up the amount for you. So you only take the natural roll because this is your rolled amount.
I'm sure it says in the Ranger it's plus 10.
Yeah,
HP.
but it adds it automatically for you.
Yeah,
you don't have
so
to do
what
it.
she's saying is D&D Beyond adds it automatically. for
You don't need to add the modifier for HP.
Yeah, when you do it in the app.
No. When you roll it like this, you don't add the modifier because it does it automatically for you.
Hang on, check this after the stream.
That's fine. No
Yeah.
problem at all.
I'm
No
confused.
issue. That's okay. We all done with our hit points at least?
I'll talk to you after.
That's fine. No problem.
Yay, my hit points are a total of 68 at level 10.
All right. You all wake up and you're all vibrant again, a little hungry, but it's early morning. It's probably about 6 a.m. You slept a good, I'd say, 7 hours after the activities of the evening before. And you have the slight smell of fresh bread and other hot foods coming from downstairs. The day is yours. What would you like to do?
Oh. I thought that was the end of the stream.
I'm gonna start the day by meditating, as always. But this time I'm specifically going to try and catch the attention of Sonari. I'm gonna be like, hey!
Yes, what?
Whoa!
And you see sitting at the edge of the bed, sort of feet kicking the air, her face turning towards you. Good morning, then.
Okay, well, I didn't expect you to get back to me so quickly.
Do people think you're a little bit odd if you're talking to just nothing sometimes? It's like an imaginary friend, I guess.
Actually, never thought of that.
You should.
I'm okay with it.
I've seen people stare.
It's fine. I'm fine with it. I'll just tell them. Who cares? What's happened?
I was there.
Yes. Were you there? Were you there in the dreaming dark? Because that was really fucked up.
It was odd. It was almost like I couldn't communicate with you. I had some restriction. I was trying to, but
So you saw, but you couldn't talk to me.
essentially,
I killed one.
I saw it. It was very good.
Can't take all the credit.
No, I know you can't, but you certainly were strong, and you saw Our Lady. You
Yes.
saw your mentors.
Yeah. So, did you know about that? Because I feel like I just pushed that out of my mind and maybe didn't think about the fact that they were probably dead until I saw them.
Well, I knew, but I didn't know how to tell you.
I feel like we should just make a deal to be really direct with each other.
I can do that.
Because it was really difficult and I didn't like it. Cried in front of a lot of people. It's really awkward.
I can do that.
Huh?
I can do that.
That would be nice. Gunner's meditating now.
He's doing a fine job at it.
He's not meditating to Ilyana, but he's meditating, which I think is cool.
I think so.
And he thanks me for it, so I think that's even cooler.
You're a teacher in your own right, Amara.
Well, teacher is a good word, but
You're right,
we'll
to an
go-
extent.
We'll go with it. Also, we should think of better ways to hide. If we can.
Noted. I'll do what I can to aid you there.
That would be great. This Red Death stuff. Something you know about? Is this just a me time thing? Okay, that's good to know. What else did I want to talk to you? Farizo. Interesting.
You've got a visitor downstairs.
What do you mean? Is it Farizo? Is it Thorum? Is it Osei? Is it for the group or is it for me?
For the group.
Oh, okay. Well, before we get to that, because I'll go down there.
No, I think you should talk to him.
But,
I'll come back.
okay. And then I'll get up.
Okay.
And I'll go downstairs.
Go for it.
Before she goes downstairs, can I?
Are you in my room?
All this is happening at once.
Can I just kind of like poke my head out, see if anyone's gone down yet, and if
No.
no one has, like kind of like rush down the stairs and just stand behind like I don't know, like a skinny plot plant or something like that.
Yep, you are there.
Pretend that that's where I was hiding all night.
Okay. Okay. You do, and as you do, you see as you walk down or hurry downstairs that there are a fair few people in the inn this morning, and they're having their morning meals, and a lot of them are fairly perturbed by the sight in front of them, but they, for the most part, they ignore it. The only person you really see around that's familiar is that small boy at the bar. Seems to be rushing around very quickly, very efficiently too, bringing people food and a hot milk for a morning sip. But you do stand behind what appears to be a very thin branch of a tree with a very sort of bushy and very well trimmed sort of top, very green, and you are there. As Amara,
muffled, chuckling to myself.
Okay. What would Gunnar and Rook like to do?
I'm still in bed, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
I'm hanging tight.
Gunnar?
I'm getting up, checking my gear. That's
Okay.
what I'm doing.
I wake up from a dream, a very vivid dream, and I remember an ability that I had once, and I'm going to try and do it now.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a little while to do, I think. Sorry, I'm in the middle of picking spells.
That's okay.
That's something to look at. But I will. I will cast scrying.
Okay.
It takes 10 minutes, so I will actually start to meditate,
Mm-hmm.
and I will expand my mind out further until I can feel Oberdin.
Okay. Could you describe the spell for me?
You can see and hear a particular creature you choose that is on the same plane of existence as you. The target must make a wisdom saving throw, which is modified by how well you know the target and the sort of physical connection you have to it. If the target knows you're casting this spell, it can fail the saving throw voluntarily if it wants to be observed. So, if I know the target well, its saving modifier is -5. So there's three classifications. Second hand, you've heard of the target, they get a +5 to save. First hand means I've just met the target, it's 0.
Mm-hmm.
Familiar, I know the target well, is -5.
Cool. It'll be familiar.
And if I have extra stuff, so there's also, if there's a connection, I have a likeness or a picture. There's also
I see that.
further -2.
Yep. Yep.
Possession or a garment,
Body part.
-4.
Sure.
And body part, lock of hair, bit of nail, or the like.
Yeah, -10.
-10.
Cool.
So I'm guessing then it would be -9.
What possession do you have? Oh, yeah. Cool. Yep. It's a -9. Correct. So,
Spoiler alert.
I don't know that though.
So you're taking 10 minutes to cast a spell? All right. As you continue to cast it, because 10 minutes is a bit long for this.
So
Rook?
the wisdom save is 17.
So he gets a -9 modifier. Good to know. Rook, what are you doing? Anything in particular?
I'm in my bedroom, right?
Yep.
I was tightening my gear, getting ready. I'm sure I don't know what's going on outside.
Nope. You have no idea.
By that time, I think I'd be ready and I'll leave.
Okay. As you walk out the door, Amara, you open the door almost at the same time, and as you see each other, you walk down and easily see people gawking at a very large looking dench hiding behind a very thin tree, chuckling to himself a little bit. You walk up to a table that is quite free close by that. Doing anything?
I'm gonna look at him and be like, just look at him very briefly, and then look at Rook and say, "You owe him 20 gold."
I thought it was 10 gold for every person I found.
Unless he wins.
So I completely lose all my money even though I found you.
Yes, that was the deal.
This is a horrible game.
Well, usually you don't put money on it. Usually you just play for fun.
Dench!
Ah, you got me. Took your time.
To be honest, my friend, you earned this.
You walked past me like 6 times. What a waste of a night.
Are you exhausted?
I didn't sleep. I'm standing behind this hiding tree.
Make a deception check.
Yeah, can
for
I
me.
insight check that,
Yeah,
please?
If you want to try and insight as well, Rook, you're welcome.
No, don't care. I believe him. If I walk past him on a nat 20, it doesn't matter. Can you catch my friend?
19.
18.
He seems tired. He seems exhausted.
You should get some sleep. That's bad. And I'm gonna look towards the bar and see if I recognize anyone.
I'll hold out my hand for.
I'll calm down.
20 gold.
I'll hand him 20 gold.
In fact, you don't need to look as far as the bar. About a table over, eating by himself, in a green shirt, a green jacket, and short white pants, is a being you haven't seen in some time, but Fripp, a gnome that had given you the job to check out Miss Marsh and look at this demon to see whether it was a fake or real, is suddenly before you. He sort of waves his finger in your direction. Come on then, have a seat.
It's really rude. You could just ask without wiggling your finger.
Please.
That's better. I like that more. Gonna sit down at the table.
I'll walk over.
No, you don't need to walk. I've walked up to you and given you 20 gold.
Yeah.
Was it worth it, Dench?
And I'll walk up to the table. I'm assuming I overheard this. I'm just gonna like slump down as if I'm like exhausted. Lay back.
Short nap. Short rest.
He waves another small hand and you see breakfast platters before you. Fruits in one platter, breads and jams in another, and beverages around you as well. There seems to be a full plate of bacon that just sits directly in front of you, Dench. And Fripp says, well, it's good to see you again. Here's where we left off. And here's what you need to know. The Warforged army outside of Shan has disappeared entirely. It ceases to exist. They have either moved or they have been enveloped by whatever magics the Eldeen Reaches have transpired. There is no Warforged army within 1,000 miles of here, where they really should be. So they've found a way to quicken their pace, or they've been defeated, or something else has transpired. We've had word and we've seen rifts open and refugees from the Feywild come through into Zalago. Refugees being dryads, centaur, magical beings, the fairy kind. They seek refuge, for it seems their home is under attack.
You're speaking of the creatures of the Underdark.
No, the Feywild. Things are moving quickly, and the trust, we've seen your actions, and we have need of you. There is something being built underneath this city. It is large and it will cause chaos and death. We need you to put a stop to this. It is mechanical. I think the Warforged would like to use this as a distraction. There is one person that is of very high interest in our sites. There is also rumor of Karnath and the Lazar principalities going to war, or about to. The Lazar principalities seem to be raiding coastal towns in Karnath. Karnath being here, Lazar principalities being there, mind you. Lazar principalities, the kingdom of pirates, don't normally ride the coast of Karnath, because Karnath does have a fleet of their own, a formidable one, even to the likes of being able to overcome the fleet of the prince.
They're the ones that had the undead army on.
Yeah, in the last war, yes. But this is odd, because Karnath and the Lazar principalities have peaceful times since the last war. It is quite unusual for them to be in a divide. We are investigating this as we speak. Like I said, we are investigating this, but also another phenomena. Shadow Marshes. A country to the west of us. And also Valinor are not responding with our agents. And with the investigation that has come to pass, we have found something strange. The citizens of Valinor and the citizens of the Shadow Marshes are still. They are not moving. They have simply stopped living. They are living. He sort of shakes his head a bit. They are living, breathing beings that have stopped their daily tasks and are simply standing, looking in the direction of the Mournland. The entire population of these two countries on both sides of Khorvaires have simply stopped functioning. Like I said, there's one person of interest in all this. We've tried to keep tabs on them, but they are very, very wily, very sneaky. They come and go as they please. They have tried and tried to be without our grasp, outside of our grasp in our sights, and they've succeeded on occasion. We believe they are the cause of many of these odd occurrences. We believe they might even be partially responsible for this disease ravaging the Mural Holds, being seen speaking to the drow on some occasions. Watch him closely. Watch him well. Be his friend still. But do not take your eyes off Fariso Dordoleta. And that's where we're going to leave it for tonight, guys.
You jumped in so quickly to say that.
It's because you picked up your keys. That's what gave it away.
All right. And with that, we're going to leave it for this evening. Thank you, everybody. I know we went a little bit over time for tuning in. We're going to see you all next week, and we hope that you enjoyed this evening. Have an amazing night, and I'm going to leave these guys to think on that.
Hey, enter the giveaway.
The giveaway is live. We'll post more details about that ASAP.
It's already up.
It's already up.
Yeah, so
Efficiency.
check the pinned tweet on @FatesCrypt.
Beautiful.
And you will find out if you win within the next 2 sessions.
Fantastic. Excellent. Thank you so much, guys. Awesome RPing. Loved it. And we will see everyone next week. Have an amazing night and amazing week, guys. Can't wait.
Hey, thanks for joining us, guys. Look forward to you next week.